Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
Agreement by which we can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back for another interesting episode over here at the Roger Report Live, because, again, those are the only type of episodes that I do. It's going to be interesting. Trust me. Even if it wasn't interesting, once I get a hold of it, it's going to be interesting. And today we're going to do another installment of a great series, Unsupervised White People. Today's episode will be More Money, More Problems, okay? Shout out to all the unsupervised white people out there. Real talk, will never run out of room to give me stuff to do. And that's just keeping it real. But, you know, we're going to focus on the white people today. Now, before we go too far into this, first of all, I want to say shout out to all my people who come through on a regular basis and make up the fam around here. Okay. Appreciate y'all big time. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream, because, of course, y'all are helping with the algorithm. Y'all are helping grow the channel and things like that. So appreciate their support. Shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get. And y'all, I'm insisting that you at least once a week, you got to get me. You got to get me. How you going to enjoy this type of content and don't hook me up at least once a week? I know you can't do it all the time, but you should do it every single time you get a chance. So shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get. And shout out to everybody who hits that like button. Y'all know that's the #1 spot to make stuff grow and move and get out here the way it needs to. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. And remember, there's never a bad time to do any of those things, because maybe the stream is from a year ago when you come around, but that don't mean it's a bad time to do it. You know, when you watch the previous episodes done, that's what you do. That's what you do. And guess what? You want to catch up on all the streams that happened before you was here. You want to catch up so you know how things go. You want to catch up on everything. But y'all, we gonna get into this in a hot little second. I want to acknowledge, the people who rock with me right from Jump Street, because y'all don't have to, but you do. So I'm gonna say, well, y'all know how it go. Okay. One guy's right there acknowledging how it is. Sometimes you get a phone call and throw you off, but there can only be one. So shout out to the Highlander of today's stream. My main man, Afro Merchant, done pulled it off, y'all. Afro Merchant done pulled it off. Sometimes you got to be at the right place at the right time. Or, you know what? You might not get it. You might not get it. So shout out to Afro Merchant, the Highlander of today's stream. Coming in right behind them, though. Right behind them. My main man, Shark Sales, close, but no cigar. Shout out to you, though. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to the Righteous Teacher. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got Music Man 1982 in the house. Bucket is in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ton of runners at the cool table this morning. Great to have you. Jerome Payne is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Urban Reed is here. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Frankie Mack is in the building. What's good, Frankie Mack? I'm just going to say straight up, I like that name. Frankie Mack is in the building. Great to have you at the cool table this morning, y'all. We not going to even hold off on getting right into this. We going to dump into this one right away. Real talk, y'all. If you did not know, there is a link in the description, so y'all see where some of this craziness come from. We have a gentleman who called in. Okay, looks like some type of call-in show gets done. A gentleman called in, and I'm gonna say he white because he sound white to me. Okay, if anybody want to have an issue with it, he sound white to me. And keep in mind, if y'all think he's something else, if you ain't black, you're white. It's that simple at the end of the day. Okay, if you ain't black, you're white. So we got a white man who doesn't seem to have called in, to have a little discussion about something. Oh, matter of fact, my bad. I got to recognize, the people who puts the dollars up, y'all. We got people who put the dollars up, and I can't do the show without recognizing them. We have people who put dollars up, and they become sponsors of the stream. And you know what? Yesterday, there was a couple of late entries that I didn't see before I ended the stream. It was 2 entries by my main man, Pound for Pound. And I'm going to say, Pound for Pound, glad to see you in the building. Glad to see you in the building. I'm sorry I didn't get notifications about these yesterday. I tried to go turn on notifications today, so hopefully I'll start hearing something pop off when somebody slash something in instead of just me checking every once in a while. But, Pound for Pound came through yesterday, $2.99. He dropped in and he just said support. So shout out to Pound for Pound. Glad to see you amongst us again. And thank you for the support, my brother. And Pound for Pound did drop another $1 in. And he did say Tigger forgot he was still in the game. No, excuse me. He forgot Tigger was still in the game. Well, yep, Tigger in the game. He in a heck of a game. And I will say this, y'all. Looking at certain things I saw yesterday after the show, the rumor is Tigger is in the process of a divorce. I did hear that, y'all. I don't think I said it on air that Tigger is in the process of a divorce because I didn't know that. So I don't think I alluded to anything like that. Whatever the case is, I didn't know. So Tigger supposedly is in the process of a divorce, which seems to be the right thing to do. And looks like, a woman's just trying to create some situations, to give herself an advantage in a divorce. And that tells me, yeah, she probably did have a son, because I think that was a son of hers, try to set him up. And it's going to be because of the divorce. I get it. Okay, it's going to be because of the divorce. Now, that divorce may be postponed. I don't know how it's going to work. I would assume he can keep pushing forward. but maybe that divorce will run into some complications because the spouse has been arrested for kidnapping. Okay, you know, it may present a extra thing or two to do when your spouse gets arrested for kidnapping while you trying to get your divorce on. But hey, shout out to Tigger. I hope everything works out for him, man. Real talk. I know some people gonna say, well, but he's still a gynecologist. Hey, at the end of the day, Tigger ain't caused no problems for men. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, he ain't caused no problem for us. He tried to stay out of stuff that he think could get him in a bad situation. If he say something, I ain't seen him where he ain't try to promote something that people can generally see is good. So shout out to that brother. Hope he gets through everything okay. But y'all, we gonna get into these white people, y'all. The unsupervised white people. They edit again, y'all. And they edit every day. I just like to highlight them every once in a while. And you know what? This particular one kind of reflects on a show I did in the past called Economic Nobility. Okay. Some of y'all saw it, some of y'all didn't. Some of y'all may think you may agree with what I'm gonna say, you may not. It is what it is. But okay. and shout out to Trust, the daughter of the channel was here. She says, what an interesting looking family. Now, these are not the people involved. These are just some random white folks, okay? I don't want to say it like these are the ones involved, but these are just some random white folks to be a representation for the moment. Okay, these are just some random white folks. I don't know who these people is. And they may not have no money because today's story is about money and power. Okay, they may not have no money. They might just be some broke white folk. But so they just will do for my broadcast. I'll say that they will do for my broadcast. Shout out to Jerome Payne. He said, Roger, put your gloves on so that white don't. Roger, put your gloves on so that white don't get on your hand. Hey, man, I move very cautious, man. I move very cautious, okay? But you can never have too much protection. You can never, ever have too much protection. And y'all, while this is a story about unsupervised white people, it was interesting to see this co-host of whatever this show happens to be. I don't know the show, y'all. I'm not familiar with it, but this co-host of the show happens to be a black woman. And she said a lot of black women type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say that. She said some black women type stuff. But let's get into this, y'all. And shout out to Jerome Payne. He said, we got to keep you safe, Raj. Well, I am not against using protection. I will say that, y'all. I am not against using protection. So let's get into this, y'all. And you know what? It's amazing to me when I listen to these folks, listen to the caller, and they start talking like stuff is confusing. And I didn't see what was confusing at all. Excuse me if I do not see the confusion that's supposed to be there, because I ain't seeing it, y'all. Some white guy called in. He say, look, man, my daddy had a little money. Okay, my daddy had a little something. Okay, he had a little something. But my daddy done died. Okay, my daddy done died. So he already done had to deal with the loss of a father. Okay, and a lot of folks, we understand that because, eventually we gonna lose a dad. Okay, I ain't lost mine yet. Some of y'all have already been through that. But eventually your dad's gonna be lost. Unless you die early, your dad gonna be lost at some point. So he called in talking about how he lost his dad. I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. We all got to go through it at some point. And he said some very interesting stuff. He started saying something about his sisters, right? And as I'm listening to this and I'm hearing, yeah, you got a couple sisters. Okay, cool. But your sisters, they ain't cool with your dad. Y'all got the same dad. This is not a situation where it's a half brother, half sister thing. We got no indication of that. Okay. The story is mama out here with dad, but decided to go out here and do her thing. Mama, yeah, and if y'all listen to it, I'm gonna say it sounds like mama just dirty, man. Mama got married. Okay, I had no indication she was being a quote unquote bad wife or anything like that, other than what we were told. But mama got married. Okay, I'm gonna say she probably, at least in the beginning, attempted to raise a good family, or whatever the case is. And mama is greedy, because according to what was said, and that's all we got to go on. According to what was said, mama eventually met some guy, even though she was married. Mama decided to be a hoe. Okay. Mama decided to be a hoe because some guy she met at some point, she wanted to be able to extract money from him too. The man she was married to was obviously no longer good enough. He was the love of her life a minute ago, but now he's no longer good enough. So mama did what a lot of hoes do. Mama got to sucking a little something, something. Okay. Mama learned a new dance. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't even say it's a new dance because she's already married. But mama learned this horizontal dance. Okay, and she started dancing with people she ain't supposed to be dancing with. Mama ain't have no honor. Mama didn't go to husband and say, you know what, baby, I'm unsatisfied. I think we need to just go our separate ways and see what life has for us. Mama didn't do that. Mama didn't do that. Mama said, no, I'm going to be a hoe. Okay. And the thing is, mama was, I'm going to say, an amazing hoe that I don't think a lot of people picked up on. I don't think y'all picked up on it. Hopefully you did, though. Hopefully you did. Why am I saying mama's an amazing hoe? Because the guy gave us the ages. He said, what was it, 17? He the oldest. The youngest was 13. I don't remember what he said that other one was. Maybe she was 15-ish or something like that, 14, 15-ish. But I remember he was 17, the oldest. The girls was younger than him, and the youngest was 13. But the girls knew about the affair. Okay? Mama was with some guy who know how to, he obviously had the right stride. He had the right savoir faire. I think that might fit right there. I gotta look up savoir faire to see what that is. But I think that might fit right there. It might fit right there. I don't know. I'm guessing. Keeping it real. I'm guessing. Okay. But he had it, y'all. He was good enough he was good enough for a woman to look at him and say, hey, I want to extract from him too. That's what happened. I want to extract from him too. So as a woman is extracting from this unmarried man, at some point in time, this hoe decides to bring her daughters into the game. Now, I don't know if this was hoe training specifically. I don't know if it just happened all of a sudden. I don't know if she just got caught with the man's penis in her mouth. I don't know how the daughters found out about her extramarital affairs. Okay, I don't know. and y'all see this is why I love y'all, man. This is why I love y'all. And shout out to Trust, the darling of the champion. I mean the darling of the channel, right? She, you know what I'm saying? She right there with me. It means know how. Appreciate you. Okay. She said pros, Roger, and savoir faire, to know how to do. Shout out to you. See that? My audience got my back. My audience got my back. Shout out to the daughter of the channel one more time. Appreciate you, sister. Appreciate you. And that's real talk. Appreciate you. Y'all, now, they living their lives. The girls done found out. Mama got this thing on the side. Now, I want y'all to really think about this. Why do the girls know mama got that thing on the side? Okay. He described a household with 3 kids and 2 adults. Now, of course, we know she gonna keep it from dad. Dad can't find out if dad might get a divorce. We get that part, and dad was trying to get some stuff off the ground. If you heard what the man said, dad was trying to make some moves and get some stuff off the ground. Now, we don't know how successful they were beforehand, because they already could have been kind of straight. Now we talking about white people now. White people been getting stuff and inheriting and stuff and all this kind. So they might have already been cool. We have no indication that these were ever broke people at all. But whatever that white man had as the father of this family, whatever he had, obviously it was good enough for her to marry, but it wasn't good enough for her to stay faithful to. So we can't just have an assumption that he was just broke. He might have been real decent. Okay, he might have been real decent. And as the man lets us know, now we didn't get an exact figure. We just know that in a combination of what dad was able to do, it's at 8 figures. Now, 8 figures just mean at least $10 million. We don't know that this ain't $50 million. We don't know that it ain't $30 million, but we don't know it ain't $70 million. But when you go 8 figures, hey, you might be. So I'm just saying, and it's easy to grow money once you got money. I'll say that. It's easy to grow money once you got money. But this guy may never have been broke in the first place. Whatever your ideal of broke is, he may have never been that. He might have always been cool. It ain't the easiest thing to do to get to 10 figures. And again, we don't know if the 10 includes a 1 at the beginning. It's a lot of numbers that could be before that. A lot of numbers could be before that 7th number, okay? Because we got 8 figures, man, okay? Got a lot of digits that could be involved in that 8 figures. So he might have been all right. But at the end of the day, mama wanted more, okay? Mama wanted more. At least in this case, according to what the son saw, the person who had the affair may have already had a little more money than dad did. Things like that happen from time to time. And hoes gonna be hoes from time to time. Okay? And y'all gotta remember, even that white woman, married, 3 kids, I'm pretty sure they look nice together and all that good stuff. But what is she? Okay. And more than likely, these are not poor people, higher class of people, 9 times out of 10. Mom's still a hoe, though. Okay? It is what it is, y'all. Mom's still a hoe. Okay? Hoe as in, if you cheat on your husband, it makes you a hoe. Now, I'm not saying mama's just a hoe like other hoes are, but if you cheating on your husband, that kind of falls into hoe category. It is what it is on that note. Okay? It is what it is on that note. So it's interesting that the man calls up and people act like they don't know what's supposed to happen, and people start making choices, just unnecessary choices, y'all. Let's think about this. Unnecessary choices. So you happen to be involved in a family. Mom and dad decide to go their separate ways. Okay? It is what it is. Now, regardless of why mom and dad go their separate ways, the children ain't supposed to be choosing between the two. Why would you make children even make a choice between their 2 parents? Okay? Unnecessary choices. But people made choices. The man said it clearly. Now, people can say he lying. The other people wasn't there to defend themselves, so I got to take what he say for face value, y'all. It is what it is. And he said people made choices. There's 3 of us. We all had to make our choice. The 2 girls, they decided what mom doing is cool enough for me to take her side. Heck, mama getting 2 dicks. See, y'all, you got to think about this now. They're young at the time. Granted that they're young at the time, but both of them old enough to be into boys. A 13-year-old could very much be into boys at that time. Not necessarily, but very much could be. What 13-year-old ain't into boys? We know the other one's older than that. So, yeah, they're looking at it as children. Well, mama getting 2 dicks and mama getting money off both of them. I think what mama doing is cool. Now, I don't know why mama didn't keep this from her daughters. But that just tell you, that gives you an indication of what kind of woman mama might be. All right. Now the guy is talking with these folks saying, Dad is gone. Dad didn't leave them nothing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons people could come up with to say you should give your kids stuff once you die. There's a lot of reasons people could come up with why you shouldn't give your kids stuff when you die. Because you don't have to put anything in your will that you don't want to put in your will to them. A lot of people think it's just automatically determined. And then a lot of folks, we become adults and find out it don't quite work that way. So Dad, being this 10-figure dude, he got 2 daughters and decided they can get a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Because I'm pretty sure that when he died, they thought they was going to get a whole lot. Because Dad doing pretty cool. Dad doing pretty cool. But for some reason, they made a choice. And that choice was, hey, I like what Mama doing. I like how Mama getting over. I like Mama got this guy that buys her stuff. Okay. I smile in his face. I get my little toy, my video game, my coat, my jacket, whatever it is that he buying. But they down. They are 100% down. They got a dad. They love him, working hard. The man ended up being 8 figures, y'all. We can't assume he ain't doing no work. Now, that could be the case, but I'm not going to assume that he ain't do no work. I'm pretty sure Dad is working hard so he can become a man that's somewhere in a 10-figure range, okay? Now, he white, so there's a possibility he don't have to really work, but even white people, most of them got to do a little something to get up into 10 figures. You got to do a little something. But they all white people, y'all. So it's all relative. These are not black folks involved. It's all relative. So whatever the daughters can peep about what Dad is doing, they just didn't care. And they went to college, got these loans out, and now they owe $300,000. That's a good piece of change, y'all. $300,000 that they had no expectation that they was gonna have to pay. No expectation. Did y'all see? There was no expectation that they got to pay, because even though Daddy gone, what up, Broham? How you doing? Okay, how you doing? We got bills, man. We got bills, man. We got $300,000 worth of bills that somebody need to pay. Okay. Now, all we know is that somebody ain't gonna be us, because we are 2 delicate flowers, and somebody's supposed to pay for us. Okay, somebody is supposed to pay. Entitlement much. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Entitlement much. Okay, our dad is dead, but somebody got to pay for us. And I just found all that to be interesting. I didn't see it as confusing at all. I saw it to be interesting. I did not see it as confusing. Dad left money where he wanted to leave money. According to what the son said, he left the son everything. Now, I understand that might shock some people. I do get that. That could shock some people, that a dad left everything to his son. You know what I didn't expect? I didn't expect him to leave it to his ex-wife. Okay, because I'm assuming they got divorced. Matter of fact, I think dude said they ended up getting divorced. I don't expect him to give it to the wife or ex-wife. I didn't expect that. The money would go somewhere, but not to her. Of course, if he making money like that, he gonna make some arrangements to make sure she ain't finna get squat. Okay? Of course he gonna make some arrangements to make sure she ain't getting squat. Now, he does have children, so do I expect the man to look out for his kids? Yeah, you got money, you gonna give your kids stuff. But now that the caller done explain, the girls was kicking it with old boy. Wait a minute. Yeah. Now, I know white people have, I'm going to say, in most cases, more entitlement than black women. You know, some white women going to have more entitlement than black women. But let me get this straight. Because I think even for white women, this is going a little far. Not only did you know about the affair, so that means you went against your daddy and didn't tell him. Okay, that's your choice. Not only did you do that, you accepted gifts and all kinds of little trinkets that he gave you. So you was cool with that too. All right, okay. As time goes on, you know, you are being involved some kind of way. Now, if I don't know exactly what happened, this is the best I can come up with. Okay, this is the best I can come up with. So now it ain't just my wife having an affair on me. Okay, that's how I'm gonna look at it. It ain't just my wife no more. Now I got some daughters literally involved with the man that she's having an affair with. Yeah, that ain't gonna feel right to me. That's just not gonna sit right. Now you kicking it with the dude. So I'm out here working, trying to provide for y'all. I believe dude had to be very decent in his situation. Probably, you know, doing better than most folk. And my wife still cheating on me because she found somebody who got a little more money to throw at her. And you, as my daughters, y'all kicking it with him? Because I don't know what else to think. If you getting all these little trickies, you kicking it with this. So y'all going out places together? You sitting there at a table in a restaurant eating with the man? And I'm your father? That's one thing for my wife to do me dirty like that. That's a whole other thing for my daughters to do me dirty like that. And then I die, you expect something? I mean, to me, you should have saw this coming. You should have saw this coming. And I'm gonna slow down right here because I got two guests that popped up. So I'm gonna slow down. We have the wise and honorable. Man, why you got to say these curse words, brother, in your name? Christians ain't S. I'm gonna just say that, man. Christians ain't S is in the building. You got your 3-minute opening statement. I'm gonna say interesting photo so far. I have no idea where you about to go with this one. And after you, we'll get Rael in here. Go ahead, my brother. You got it.
Shout out to you, Roger. But this is a topic that made me extremely mad. I'm extremely hot. I'm more pissed off than talking with no placeholder. That's how upset I am right now. I'm about to crash out. So,
Even getting hot.
So, first of all, to the white nigga that's the son, bravo to you, And listen, man, if you fold, there's a special place in hell for you. All right, there is a extra crispy for you, nigga. Right, and you white, you know y'all niggas can't stand the sun. So imagine how hell's gonna feel for your white ass. So don't fold, nigga, don't fold. Second, to the bad wench on the panel, diabolical. This nigga done told you these two little slut buckets rolled up and chose the mom while the mom was up here eating ass and then kissing the father in the mouth. And they rolling with the mom because that dude was giving them gifts and was charismatic. But your blood father, a multi-millionaire, you gonna choose some random dude over your own father. Yes, indeed, you are your mother's daughter. And no placeholder, nigga, you can't tell me shit after this. Because this is proof enough. Both those little tramps. Follow that mother because that wholeness is in the blood. Not only did they will cheat on their partners, they cheated on their father. And that bad witch got the nerve to sit up here and said the father was spiteful. And see, and the other white dude, he was cool for a little bit. He was like, yeah, don't give him money. Nah. Because there's honor and there's code in that. Then this nigga went and talked about forgiveness. In the Bible, It says you can forgive, but for adultery, you issue a bill of divorce. When those little two tarts left, name is, you better not talk about the environment today, but I will crash up. Those little cum buckets chose that nigger. The random nigga says, do you offer them a bill of divorce too? And see, this is where Christians be on some bullshit. Forgiveness and grace. No, what the Bible said, when he comes back, his sword is going to be filled with blood and his robe covered in blood, pleading for his people. Jesus turned over the table on these niggas. Right? So at the end of the day, they chose who they are and say, and you know what? I guarantee you, they're probably not even biologically his. That's why it was so easily to turn on this nigga.
All
So I'm gonna leave it here because I know my 3 minutes up. But I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. So I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to hear that shit.
But I'm on probation. This shit.
I didn't even see you name. My bad. I was telling you. I thought you were talking about me. Keep cooking. Shit. Keep cooking.
No, he on one today. He definitely on one today. But Rael,
sermon today.
Yeah, Rael, it's on you, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I got a whole lot more to say, but I'm gonna just say this for my opening. Piece of the panel, piece of the chat. Inheritance, man, is supposed to be about increasing the bounty for the next generation. So when you are left an inheritance, you're supposed to expand on that and increase that, okay? Inheritance is not just because you came out your daddy's sack and he's supposed to leave you some money so you can have a great, easy life. That's not what inheritance is. Inheritance is actually a duty and an obligation to increase the bounty from those who left it to you. So in terms of that being his last will and testament, that's a spiritual thing. That's not just about money. That's spiritual. And so he has to stand 10 toes down with his dad, because the truth of the matter is they showed him and his father they didn't care about the actual familial relationship. They didn't care anything about that. So why should they be rewarded when they actually had no honor and no loyalty? Because daughters, I said this the other day, their first undying loyalty to a man is their father. So if they were willing to participate in their mom cheating on their father, then absolutely not. He should honor his father's last will and not give him shit.
Okay. The name is Protagonist. You got the mic, my good man. You got the mic.
The chatting instructors on the panel.
I gotta give you after what you say. You get it after what you say.
Listen, hot sauce. You need to go scroll up in the comments right now and go see what I said earlier, because you clearly either you wasn't reading or you more heated than I am somehow. So we're gonna dial this back completely to zero. Wait, nah, hot sauce. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish this shit because I came here probably more heated than you, because this exact situation happened in my family. And I wouldn't have really cared too much about this story if it wasn't for what the panelist was saying on there that really, really irritated me. It was a textbook manifesto of intersectional thought, and it was boiling down to this entitlement that pathologizes anybody that doesn't follow this right of asset seizement as a result of just simply having a bloodline connection, which is what Rael was speaking to. I'm going to start with the very first point that really started with this whole thing. She says, and I quote, it feels extreme that a parent would put children in a situation where they have to choose. I'm going to say this. When I was 7 years old, I'm going to preface this with Hot Sauce's name right here. My dad was a preacher. And that's how my dad met my mom. And when I was 7, they got divorced for the very same reason. She went on vacation with her high school friend, and 9 months later, here comes my brother. Now, I'm 7 years old, not knowing about any of this. All I know is I got a brother, and I'm ecstatic, and I'm extremely close to my father. When my mom was going out doing her training for OT, for officer training school, she wasn't always there. I was always there with my dad. If it wasn't for the fact that my brother was birthed, and this is the important part, I got the choice to choose which parent I went with when the divorce went down. Mind you, I'm 7. These people in question in the story are 17, 15, and 13, respectively. Their follow-up statement was to make the argument of, quote, kids don't understand how to make a specific decision at that time as their minds aren't developed yet, end quote. So here I am at 7 years old, making a decision to go with my mother because of my brother. My verbatim words to both my parents were, I don't want my brother to grow up not knowing who I am. I said that at 7. I can't be convinced that kids don't know or don't have the capacity to have an understanding of what's going on with these parents, what's going on in these situations. If at 7, I can come to that quiet, sound decision, those kids absolutely could at 13, 15, and 17. The next point, when she goes on to say, oh, well, how did the kids know that the father was innocent? Because what was the term she used? Quote, dear old innocent dad. And being very, very flamboyant about it to really downplay this dude. The caller went and explained very clearly that the situation was he shows up and is spoiling the daughters with these gifts. And here's the key thing, which I think this really is the pinpoint and the leverage point behind it all, time. Because anybody that understands someone who makes millions of dollars like that, one of the main things that they're spending is focus on their business with the goal of delayed gratification. So you've seen these situations where some of the richest people on the planet are the most frugal. They come up with financial plans, they budget their time, they have these strategies, they got to go away on trips. They don't always have time to do these baseline things. The overall objective is, do my family have what they require? Am I doing my duties and responsibilities as a father? Am I being derelict in my duty? I'm going to remind you, he did this for at least 17 years because the oldest son is 17 and the oldest is 13. Presumably, they're his children. So for at least that amount of time, he's working to cultivate enough money. We haven't heard anything from the mother's side as far as her working. So we can make the assumption that she was staying at home the whole time. So we're back to this dude doing everything he was supposed to. And when she breaks the contract, all of a sudden there's that entitlement piece that shows up. The son decides to stay. And during that process, he's distraught, but the son stays there. The fact that that panelist tried to pathologize that father's actions as somehow immature or in some way derelict or lack of development speaks to the entitled piece. I think it was dysfunctional, she claimed that his behavior was. Total complete BS. And I'm going to say this last bit too, because I know I went over time. This same scenario happened with my grandfather, who was a multi-million-dollar individual. I'm not going to explain everything that he did, but he did quite a bit. And at the end of the day, when it came down to it, when the will came out, his money went to the family that he married into. And it was a complete, full, total crash out for the exact same reasons. These patterns repeat over and over and over again ad nauseum. And the only reason why there's this attitude that there's an entitlement piece to it is because oftentimes when it occurs, the state is able to leverage it the way they try to leverage this whole thing with child support. And at the end of the day, the will was the last standing piece that men have ever had to assert consequence, which is really what this boils down to. Consequence and agency. In the end, he got the last laugh. And that's what they're upset about with the $300,000 in debt.
I'm going to say that too. But one thing I'm going to disagree with. Everything you said was spot on. Except she was working. That cat was definitely working. But other than that, you're right.
I said I wasn't sure. I didn't know if she was or not. I didn't see.
That cat was definitely working. Nigga.
Nah,
That box was.
Definitely that cat was working.
She was a boxer. Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. I'm gonna read a couple things he done dropped into the chat. Black Uru Strike says he sounds very vulnerable. Then that even if he does honor his belief that his father would not want to help them, that does not necessarily mean that would be best for him. So Black Uru is saying that if he follows his father's wishes, because he sounds like such a fragile man, that might be a real problem for him. And he also said he needs to get some real counseling to figure out how he feels and will live, and with whatever he chooses to do, then decide whether to help them.
Respectfully, who cares about that white bread nigga? This nigga got over $10 million. He'll be all right. Fuck his feelings.
Now, I'm gonna say, I mean, real talk. This will be a rough situation for me. You know, if I found out my mama was out there just getting it in, okay, my sisters are rocking with the dude. So in my mind, they going out to dinner together, they going to movies together, they going horseback riding together. They doing all these different activities together, and the girls are just with them. And then when they done kicking it, she come home and she jumping all over him in the bedroom. Now I got to hear all this stuff about what's going on, because what's the usual story? Daddy gonna be out the house. She'll probably keep the house, and dude out there nailing her to the cross. Well, my dad's supposed to be. This ain't gonna feel good to me. This just not gonna be cool as far as I'm concerned. So now years done passed. You know, obviously his father died a little earlier. I would assume maybe his father died. Maybe, you know, nobody's 50 or anything like that. My sisters got $300,000 that's owed to them, that they owe for schooling purposes. My thing is, why you can't pay that off yourself? Now, and why would I give you dad's money? Because that's what I'm really gonna come with them. Why would I give you dad's money to pay off your college loans? And we both know dad didn't want you to have his money. Dad could have gave it to you if he wanted you to have it. Dad didn't give it to you. Now, I'm going to just keep it real, y'all. You ain't my daughter. You just my sister. My daddy gave you what he wanted you to have.
But remember, I was going to highlight something in the interview here, because this is a point I really want to emphasize here. When it was asked earlier, because I think the dude on the panel asked this question. He asked, what is your relationship with your sisters? Kind of getting into what Black Uru was talking about. And he had to highlight the fact that ever since they've been around, and here's my rebuttal to the assessment that these kids just make the assumption that the youngest one was somehow under some super peer pressure by the mom and just wasn't in a position to make a decision. They're adults now, clearly. If they're in college, they're adults now, at least. So post-divorce, while the father was still alive, they had an opportunity to at least hear the other side and make amends. And from what we're hearing, the daughters went out of their way to make any communication they had with the son or the father extremely transactional. So it's, well, I need to go do this, send me some money. I need to do that, I need some money. Or coming up with all of these unique instances, he was being seen as something that was obligatorily extracted from. He was an ATM. And that's clearly the role that they intended for them all. So that leans in further into the expectation that once that will is done, that they were going to get something even furthermore, which again, in my subjective opinion, I think is even more so reason to keep that same energy. This transactional, nah, your credit's not high enough.
Well, I wanna add this if I can. You did bring up a good point. Consequences. There's consequences for your actions. There's consequences for you getting in debt, and your father doesn't owe you an inheritance to bail you out. Now, if he has a good relationship with his siblings, which he don't, because he said right, he felt kind of a certain type of way that they chose the mom over the dad because the dad, in his mind, it is and was the victim. So my suggestion to him would be like, all right, don't give him any of the dad's money, but you can break them off with $20 or something from your paycheck, something like that. But outside of that, you know what I mean? I got gas money for your ass, but that's
$300,000 though.
For that, and on top of that, you know how it is to marry a rich, a wealthy man. Where is your husband, niggas? Where are your husbands?
Well, see, the thing is, and this is where a lot of brothers lose too, because, Obsidian Man, shout out to him when he said this. This was years ago. It's like 2015, 2016. And Obsidian said years ago, he did a show on your code as a man and not allowing your code to be used against you to defeat you. He brought up Batman and the Joker and how the Joker knows that Batman will never end his life. And that's why the Joker does what he does. Because he knows no matter what he does, the Joker, Batman, his code will not let him take a life. And he uses this to his advantage to cause chaos and mayhem. And this is the same thing that happens. I think it's really a metaphor for just life in general. In this particular situation, it's a family situation, but it's the same sentiment. They know their brother has a certain code. And they know his code comes from his father. And that's the reason why they're trying to hit him up, because they think that they can manipulate that code, which he holds, because he talked about him being Christian, but he had a fundamental misinterpretation of what that really means. Because I ain't never seen in the scripture where your siblings can take advantage of you just because they're related to you. I mean, we have stories of Cain and Abel. We have the story of Joseph, with what his siblings did to him. So that's not in the scripture. You know what I'm saying? That's not in the scripture. Now, forgiveness is a choice that you make individually. There's no law that says you have to forgive, but forgiveness does not mean I let you do what you want to do. Because true forgiveness is really for yourself. It's so that you can move on. He can't really move on with his life because he's still thinking that he has to do something for them because they're related by blood. Well, yeah, they're related by blood, but they're not actually family. And that's what he needs to recognize in the situation. Blood does not make you family. I know people have been saying that for years. That's a crock of shit. No, it does not. Being family is what makes you family. And they chose to not be family. They chose to participate in the breakup of their own family. So he does not have to look at them with familial eyes. He needs to look at them with the eyes of a man with authority. And as somebody that was entrusted by his father with the authority over his estate, he has to follow the directive of his father because his father entrusted him with that authority. That's a solemn authority.
I think the same. Oh, go ahead.
Now, I'm gonna say, real talk. For me, this is a situation about who I am, and what I'm supposed to do is who I am. I would love my sisters because they're my sisters. I'm pretty cool with having a bunch of money too now. Now my dad done left me 8 figures worth of stuff. I shouldn't diss a man willing to give me 8 figures worth of stuff. And he said he left property. You know, there's at least one businesses was left. You know, whatever Dad had been doing over this period of time. Dad cool with me. He gave me 8 figures worth of stuff. I can't just diss him. Why would I diss a man that gave me 8 figures, man?
9, because it's in tens of millions. 9.
Okay, so yeah, 9. Okay, he gave me 9 figures worth of stuff. So at the end of the day, I can't diss him. He cool with me. Now, you my sisters, I get all that, but you grew up, you know what you know. That was your dad too. You should have got cool with your dad so your dad would give you something. Because at the end of the day, your dad didn't give it to you. My dad gave me what my dad wanted me to have. Your dad, even though we talking about the same person, gave you what he wanted you to have. And at the end of the day, you're my sister. You're not my you're not my love interest. You're not my woman. You having $300,000 worth of bills is y'all problem. That's a YouTube problem because it's 2 of them. That ain't none of my problem. So at the end of the day, I'm good, man. You know, I got actual sisters. I don't go to my sisters trying to take care of me. You know what I'm saying? So
I think we got to reconcile a couple of things. So the inheritance was passed down to father and son. Now, traditionally, that is how it's always have been. Even when people did not have any issues or falling out or disownment, it normally went from father to son, and so on and so forth. Now, in this situation, just because I don't give my sisters a piece of inheritance doesn't mean I'm mad at you or anything like that. And there's nothing really for me to forgive. This is between you and Dad. And Dad said his dying wish is like, no, you guys will fend for yourself. And that's it. Everybody just needs to respect that. And it's not that I'm mad at you. I'm respecting his wishes. I don't have beef with you. I can forgive you and not give you any of his money. I can forgive you and help you out with $100 from my paycheck or something like that. But at the end of the day, right, last will of testimony needs to be respected. And the fact that woman up there wanted to denigrate his last will of testimony is diabolical, especially being a Christian, because that's a Christian finance show. And at the end of the day, let's say he was immature. It's his right. And see, that's the thing. Like, they always want to play on these virtues. Well, how about you're right? Yes, it was immature. But guess what? I have a right to be immature in my last will and testimony. I have a right to be an asshole.
I think this boils back down to the difference between family and relatives. And one thing is performative and the other thing is this obligatory liability assessment. And I'm back again to this point that it's possible. And I guess I can't speak from any position outside of my own subjective opinion, having experienced this firsthand. Everyone's not cut out to be the family villain. And because of that, there's certain mentalities or certain needs you may have, certain levels of attachment that you can only really experience on a baseline level from family you can socialize and have a relationship. But in this specific instance with this dude, I think the general conflict is he's clear legally, which is usually the only hear about these things when that's in question. Example, it could be a situation where the sister got like 1% of the property. Well, due to the legal assessment of it, she can take one and say, I want the monetary value of that property and cash out my 1%. And what will have to happen is the state has to acknowledge and honor that and they'll validate it. So you lose the property, but you'll get the other 99% of whatever it was worth. But now you don't have that property anymore. They'll do stuff like that to spite. That's the kind of thing you'll see. But I think what's jarring has been the level of vitriol that likely surfaced at caused him to come into the question of, am I really just honest to them? Because I think those both
you borging a little too bad now, brother. I don't know what's going on, but
Morgan?
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was me.
Yeah, I was no. Go ahead. He said when he asked it, I was borging. He sounded clear. Go ahead.
Oh, maybe my connection. I'll see what I can do.
Stay where you at right now and finish your statement, but because you sound clear now.
Okay, so the understanding of this dude needing to reconcile what reaction he's getting from his sisters and from his mother versus the way his dad was treated and his moral understanding of the bigger picture. And I think, again, it's difficult to know how you will react until you're in that situation. But I think that's the difference between family and relatives, and understanding that he did want to honor his father's legacy, but at the same time, he's now by default the patriarch. And that's not something he clearly was groomed to handle from a position of acceptance, but he's there from a position of leverage. And that's the difference. And I think that's probably where he's going to run into his issues going forward, having to deal with that reality.
Well, I'm going to say, I think culturally, if we are truly in a culture where people give way to the men, you know what I'm saying? Like if you come from this very patriarchal culture, I think there's something to consider. But if you're not coming from an extremely patriarchal culture, which, if the mama wasn't cheated and the daughter sided with the man that cheated with mom, doesn't seem like you're coming from a very patriarchal type of culture. My thing is, this just ain't my problem. My daddy gave me in the tens of millions of dollars worth of stuff. My daddy is cool with me. Your daddy gave you zero.
Well, wait, no. The issue is he's conflicted on whether or not he should extend assistance because it's clearly against his father's will. But he still wants to be a good brother, but he doesn't. He's having a conflict of the sisters aren't being good sisters, the mother's not being a good mother. Well, go ahead.
I know I do get that, but my thing is some stuff is at my level and some stuff ain't at my level. For me to be a good brother, that means if we celebrate Christmas, I get you a Christmas gift. Okay?
Right, we get that. We're talking about the boundaries. I'm saying this dude don't sound confident on this phone. I think he's going off of inertia and the fact that they messed up so clearly that he's still struggling with cognitive dissonance. Going back to Hot Sauce's earlier statement of if you fold, it's a special place waiting for you. And I understand exactly what he's talking about because at that point, I mean, maybe we're just sort of vicariously, parasocially looking at this, but we see what happens when that occurs 9 times out of 10. I still think that that's his form of reaching out because if he wasn't struggling with that, he would have never called into the show. My disappointment is less about that dude and more about what this chick was saying on that damn panel.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you 100%. Let me say it. First of all, I'm with you 100%. I'm gonna say I know we can't help dude because he probably ain't gonna never come across this episode. So he just burned up. I'm just gonna keep it real, y'all. The way he sounded, I think he burned up. I'm a hope that he gets some guts, but he might just be burnt up at the end of the day.
He gonna fold. I mean, listen. I get it, right? Over time, look, the best of us, well, the best of y'all folks, I ain't folding on that shit. But the rest of niggas fold on that. So, I mean, I get it. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's human nature. You're going to have pity because at the end of the day, you really don't have beef with your sisters, right? So, at the end of the day, you're going to fold. But I think the egregiousness here, the violation is the woman looking and probing to show how a last man's will and testimony should be invalid and should not be respected. That is diabolical.
That's a sister for you. That's a black woman for you. Let me read this real quick. My black woman was trying to. He said, he will have to live with whatever decision he makes, and he does not sound like he is prepared to cut them off, which is what likely he'll have to do once he refuses to help them. And my thing is, they'll be all right, and he ain't gotta cut them off. He can still give them a Christmas gift or whatever, give them something for their birthday. He also said, well, I guess this was really to this is specifically for the nameless protagonist. He said they're still his sisters, regardless of how he may feel about what they have done. And I heard tears in some of his commentary. He has got to deal with that. He's soft, y'all. We just gonna put it like that. He clearly a soft guy.
White bread is on the fold. White bread is on the fold.
Yeah, but what does them being his sisters have to do with anything? They were his father's daughters. Okay, he was the patriarch. Okay, he was the one that did the business. Mind you, what she said was the fact that they supported their mom doing what she was doing because the dude that she started dealing with was buying them stuff when his dad's business was struggling. So they didn't even show any loyalty to their father when he needed them the most. The son was the one who showed him the loyalty when he needed him the most.
Absolutely. And
that's what happened. Being the sisters does not entitle them to any money, because if that was the case, the father, as the father of them, would have left them the money. If he felt that they deserved some of that money, he would have left it to them. Clearly, if you're siding with your mama's side piece over your father, clearly you don't deserve no money. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Black Rule Strikes also said it's not just about what he should do, it's also about what he can do. And he seems to need some real help getting to that latter position. I'm gonna say obviously the man needs some help. This is where your real friends is supposed to kick in and be like, hey bro, why are you even worried about this? Them ain't your daughters. I'm gonna say it like that, y'all. Them ain't your daughters. They your sisters. Now, would I help my sister if my sister needs some help? Sure, I'd help my sister on some little stuff here and there. But I'm not gonna make sure my sisters are taken care of unless I'm balling out of control. Now, he's balling out of control, but he's only balling out of control because of his father's dying. That makes a complication where I can't really hook you up like that. It's that simple to me. Daddy gave me this money because he didn't want you to have it, so I cannot help you ball when Daddy didn't want you to ball. Dad said you got to get it out the mud. So there go the mud, go get it. It's that simple to me. But let me let these other two guys get in here. Oh, no, it's one guy. No, it's two. No placeholder. You got the mic, my brother. How you doing?
What's going on, Roger? How you guys doing?
We doing all right.
What up, bro? Yeah,
It's
been a long,
going on, fam.
long week for me. Very busy week. But yes, I did watch that. I did watch the clip. By the way, I'm saying I love this episode. So let me jump into my 2 minute very quickly. So as I was listening, I'm hearing the sisters were aware of the fact that the mom was cheating and the son wasn't. When the divorce happened, the sisters sided with the new stepfather because they felt that in whatever ways. He also mentioned that he was charismatic in certain things. So I'm not I completely understand. So I completely understand where he's coming from. And also I heard that when the sisters had kids, the dad attempted, which is the biological dad, attempted to form some kind of relationship, and the sisters basically prevented that from happening. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah. So let me turn my alarm off. Sorry. Yeah. So the dad. I'm kind of in between something. Yeah. Sorry about that, Roger. Yeah. Yeah. So the sister. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. So the dad attempted to form a relation with the sister's children, and they prevented that from happening. And also I'm hearing I remember the son saying that the dad poured into him after the divorce, and he showed him love. So he eventually mentioned it. So he basically indicated that even though he was a single dad. He still gave him the kind of environment that he basically made him happy enough, and made him felt loved enough from his father. And he also mentioned that his dad basically had to deal with alcohol abuse, and then he had to pull himself out of that. I'm saying so. I'm saying, but and I also heard them the announcer on the show indicated that he wasn't ready to forgive them because he out of his own mouth said, "I'm not ready to forgive them." So I think I think that I think he fully grasps what's going on. I wouldn't say he's in a bad position. I think that basically, like most people that have excess, they do some rationalization to himself. It's like, if I have all this excess, why not? And it is true that unlike the dad who was the one that was actually the one that was wrong, he seemed to be more of a neutral position. So for him, the same hatred, or maybe not hatred, but it's the same I'm using. I'm trying to find a different. But anyway, the dad felt like he was basically wrong in a way where that it seems that the mom and the sisters never atoned for that in a way where it was like we wronged you, dad, and this was not cool. That basically that what we did. So yeah, so I think he's in a, you know what I'm saying, he's the right frame of mind where he's supposed to be. I mean, he's gonna want to help his sister, but I think he's pretty clear that he can't use his money to help his sister because that would be against his father's wishes. So yeah, I learned right there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Roger.
Okay, appreciate you. Bronk, go ahead and chime in, brother.
All right. What up, Roger? What up, chat? What up, panel? Man, I truly hope that this young man does not give them a dime. First and foremost, man. First and foremost, I hate what the black lady was saying in that video. It seemed like she was trying to find every excuse for the sister's behavior, and it seemed like she was bringing the dead father on trial. She was putting him on trial. She kind of very sarcastically stated throughout the entire conversation, "Oh, you know, perfect dad. Dad didn't do anything wrong." Right? Like, she said that in such a way to say, like, that can't be true. He had to do something that warranted his daughters behaving the way they are towards him. Then, you know, as she started to question more, she learned that it was in fact mom that stepped out on dad. Now, I hope this young man makes the right decision, man, but I'm going to say this. This is why you can't leave this earth just with a will. A will is better than dying intestate. And what dying intestate is when you die, you don't have a will, everything goes to probate, right? So, if, you know, shout out to the father for not dying in that situation, because the sisters definitely would have fought with the brother, you know, via the state for those assets. So the fact that he did have a will in place was great, because the will just directed all those assets to his son. Or maybe he just left the son as a beneficiary to his life insurance policy. I don't know. But, you know, $1 million left to the son. It's better to put it in a trust. If you put it in a trust, you don't have to deal with these issues when it comes to kids fighting between the assets. You don't have to deal with the issue of maybe the son folding to the daughters that you don't want to touch a dime of the money. So proper planning can avoid these things. A will is great, but if you have a irrevocable trust or even a living trust while you're still alive, that's what you want to do. And then you can have a pour over will to essentially pour any assets that are still out there when you pass away into the trust. And then you don't even have to worry about fighting or somebody getting access to money that you don't want them to have access to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna land my plane there for now, man.
I'm gonna say that is not gonna work. At the end of the day, you got two sisters who are asking their brother for money. No matter how you leave it, two sisters can ask their brother for money. So to me, this is really not about his financial planning. I mean, he said what he said in that will. He said, my son can have it all. My daughters can have nothing. So he said what he said. The thing is, they have the natural ability, because they're humans, to go ask their brother for money. And that's what they did. So at the end of the day, no matter how you lay it down, you couldn't stop them from going to their brother to ask for money. Now, my thing is, I think the brother needs to look at his proper situation. You're not in a culture where quote unquote patriarchy is a thing. Them ain't your daughters, bro. And that's all it is to it to me. They ain't my daughters. It's not my job to make sure they straight. If I do something for my sisters, that's a blessing for them. But I don't owe them squat. I'm supposed to make sure I'm good, my wife is good, my children are good. If I throw something to a brother or sister, that's nice for me to do. But they're not my responsibility. You talking about paying off college loans, man. That's a parent's responsibility if a parent want to take that on. You went to college, you got the degree, you're going to benefit from the degree. That's on you.
And they ran over there.
Hold on. Does anybody recognize that they're not asking the mothers side piece for no money?
Great point, Ryan.
That's literally what I was about to say. I was just about to say that.
Like, no. Why are you up in your brother's face if you chose your mama's side piece?
Bingo.
He was buying y'all shit. He was charming y'all. Okay. So why isn't that's the guy that your mama chose to be with? Why he ain't give y'all no money?
He's buying y'all a lot of stuff. Why he ain't set y'all up a 529 plan?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say, based on what we're hearing, I do believe this is a case of a man who worked very hard to take whatever he had and make it bigger. And while he was putting all that work in, mama just wanted to enjoy herself. Now, the other guy come in, he may not be rich or anything close to it. He may just be a regular dude, but he could have a decent job or whatever. Maybe he does make 6 figures and he can afford to do a little something. But he ain't got money like dad got. And that's just what it is. He ain't got the money, at least at this point, like dad got. That's why they ain't asking him. They asking for the person with the money, which is now my brother. He the one got the bag. The other guy bag ain't so big.
Well, it seems like what happened is because you got he didn't really expound like the full totality of the situation. So what it seems like what happened was in the divorce, the mother had some assets, and then because we know how these courts go, even though the chick stepped out, they probably still gave her some assets because we deal with no fault divorce at this point. So the mom probably still got some assets. So basically what probably happened was she probably got some of those assets and she moved and she got some of those assets and the dude helped her plunder through the assets and left nothing for those daughters. So now that the assets are gone, now they're trying to come back to him on some, well, we family type stuff. When they had already decided that they wasn't going to be a family with them. His sisters already decided that the moment that they chose their mother's side, they were not rocking with the brother. Because the brother was rocking with the dad. So the two sides had already went to their separate corners. Now the money had dried up. Now he holding the bag. Now they're trying to come on some like, oh well, we're sisters. You know, you got to look out for us because we're your sister. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have no respect for him. They don't because right, yeah, they had no respect for his father because it wasn't just that his father was hurt from what happened. He was hurt from what happened too. See, the female that was on the panel, the black chick, she didn't even take into consideration the father's hurt or his hurt. This female literally called his father immature. His dad. She called his dad immature.
And she said that if the dad was so innocent, why did the daughters choose to go with the mom and the other dude? I'm just basically saying that there must be something there that they're not saying. No, they're just women. You got just like a girl on the panel is a black woman and a woman you don't even know, and you're trying to support her misbehavior. That's the exact same thing the daughters did. They all want to live in a world. Go ahead.
Yep.
What I'm saying is, This is what I've been talking about right here. This is the white dude. Bro. This is very synonymous to what we see in our own group. A lot of these black bizarro families send these girls out here with this mentality. Man, y'all better stop that shit, dog. Y'all gonna get these girls hurt out here, dog. Y'all gonna get these girls hurt out here. You fuck with my son like that, dog. I'm firing off in your whole family shit, dog. I'm not tolerating no shit like that, dog. For real. I don't give a damn if that's your baby girl. Your baby girl gonna be with some missing teeth out here. I'm gonna protect mine, dog. Y'all better straighten these girls up, man. Like you can't reward this. You cannot reward this behavior. You cannot reward betrayal and treason with money and assets, bro. Because you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna make them come out here and think that they can do that to any other dude out here. And then they're gonna meet the wrong one out here, and they're gonna be found somewhere in the ditch somewhere, man. Y'all think men are playing out here, man? You can't be this is what they're doing to their own father and his legacy. His son is the legacy. They ain't shit. They just some hoes with their mom.
Yep.
But the son is the legacy. And they literally, even in death, they are literally trying to go against their father's wishes. Death.
They ain't respect him in life. So why respect him in death?
At some point, man, black men and men across the board are going to have to hold their nuts. You don't sit here and spend your life building up resources for your family just for you to let the females of the family squander it. Every piece of inheritance that goes to the hands of females in your family needs to be tied into a husband, and the husband, when he marries them, gets control over that inheritance. So you better make sure you bring to me the proper man. You better make sure you bring to your father the proper man to marry. Because if you let some goofy dude be the steward of your inheritance, you ain't coming back to me for no money. Nah, you ain't coming back to me getting nothing, because that's what you wanted. Yes, that's what you brought me. Now, if I arrange your marriage and he turns out to be a ball, that's on me. That's my bad. I misjudged him. I'll take that. But if you choose him and if you bring him to me, knowing that he wasn't crap, don't come to me asking for, oh, well, he's not doing this. No, he's not doing that. You knew he wasn't about anything. They knew this dude wasn't about anything because he was willing to steal another man's woman. He was willing to steal another man's wife. And that's something I don't tolerate. I do not tolerate that crap right there. That's why I draw the line right there, homie.
Right.
I gotta get this stuff in from Black Rule, then I gotta let these new guys get in. Shout out to Black Rule Strike. He said the father could have set up the trust in such a way that the son would not be able to immediately make any large payouts in the short period of time after his death, which is true. But I'm gonna say, y'all, a sister gonna ask her brother for money. Black Rule Strikes also said that would have given the son some time to get on his footing and then be able to make clear, mature decisions free of the immediate emotional, emotionality of his passing. I just think dude just a weak dude, and I don't think Daddy was gonna be able to save this dude. I'm just gonna keep it real. I think this dude just a wash as far as holding himself.
I don't think he came across as that weak though.
No, he
doesn't come across to me as that weak.
It's a misinterpretation of Christianity. That's what his problem is.
Because
he brought up Christianity to justify forgiveness, because he's still tormented by what happened. So he's feeling guilty because he really doesn't want to forgive them, and he really doesn't want to give them the money. But at the same time, he's looking at them as his family because they're his sisters. So he's actually torn between it. That's not weak. That's being good.
No. Let me say this real quick, because I got to get these other guys in. I got to walk away for a second, so I want to let these guys talk while I do what I got to do. But I'm saying this: he's not looking at this stuff from the right perspective. These are my sisters. They are not my children. I am not concerned about my sister's college loans. There's nothing I'm gonna ever think about. I got sisters. They got college loans. I don't know if they paid them or not because I ain't never asked, and I'm never going to ask. That is something I don't even supposed to consider at all. I will never think about my sister's college loans. It's just not gonna happen. I don't care nothing about their college loans. I'm pretty sure they good. They got husbands. They should be straight. If they didn't get it straight, that's their business. They are not my daughters. Don't come to me as your brother to do something your husband is supposed to do, because I'm not your husband. That don't mean I don't love you. My thing is, this is not even my problem to think about. But let me let these other guys get in. Jado and Creator, y'all get in there and do your wait a minute, hold on. No, Creator first. Creator got up first. Creator, then Jado, and then we'll keep it going from there.
Go ahead. They say I talk long, man. Go ahead, Jado.
All right, Jado, he letting you go first. Go ahead, brother.
Thanks for being gracious, brother.
Well, regardless, it's 2-minute opening statements, but I mean, if y'all go a little longer, I ain't gonna say nothing because the rest of them did. So it is what it is.
I go a minute and a half. They're gonna feel like it's 4.
What's up, fellas? I didn't hear any. Wait, what up, big dog? Hey, I didn't hear any previous opening statements or anything or the commentary, but just after reviewing the video, I'm a father of only girls, man. But I don't know. The only person that I see that was I can't even say that because the black woman host of the show had to ask the questions, but she might have been the unsupervised one, Roger. She's probably, but again, so I see no problem at all with what that the deceased father did. Again, with the limited information that I got from the video, I suspect there's more info there that, of course, you probably just can't get to, in that short amount of time. But I see no problem whatsoever with what the deceased father did. The only thing, I am a big proponent of forgiveness, man. But we get forgiveness twisted a lot, man. You don't have to give money. You don't have to hang out, kick it, laugh, and kiki with someone that you forgive. You do not have to do that. You can forgive and move on and keep your money. So, the white dude, I guess we're assuming that these are white people, but he should just keep his money, spend it the best way he sees fit, and he can offer forgiveness to his sisters and his mother if he chooses to do so. But I'm a big proponent of that, just to clear your own emotional, your mind, clear your own mind and emotional states, to say that. But I see no problem with anything else. That man. We need to make firm decisions, and I respect that white man's firm decision. And I'll end right there. Thanks for having me, Ross.
You're very welcome, man. So, first off, what's happening, brothers? Hope y'all had a great week, a profitable week, a sensible week. It benefits you in some way, shape, form, or fashion that propelled you to the next level. I watched the video, and first off, the black girl was, you know what I'm saying, boy, it was crazy to me how she was real sympathetic or empathetic or whatever it is. She was really like, hey, you know what? No, I don't feel this way. And I think she was almost trying to punish the dude into feeling the way that he felt, and how he felt. It's like how he felt was real. He was conflicted. That's okay, right? You're human. You're gonna feel these feelings. But at any rate, his dad did what he was supposed to do. He obviously built a marriage to the point to where I think Brunk said that this woman probably got something out of the divorce, and she obviously chose another man. They benefited off the whatever that was, and then when he passed, guess what? I want some more, or you didn't do enough in your death. So now, even in my death, right, I can't get no peace because I set y'all up in life and made sure that what I want is what I wanted, and how he set it up in his death is how it is. Now the son is tasked with making the decision, the challenging decision, but my money, my rules. So if you take my money, play by my rules. And as conflicted as you was with taking this money, you need to be just as non-conflicted when it comes to running things. And so that's the way the business and policy, the way things were supposed to be run. It is what it is. They chose their side of the fence. So now it's the part of us is when somebody does something wrong, and here are the rules, and here's what we got to do to enforce. When you do something, it's the enforcement part that some people have a problem with. If it says 100 lashes for stealing a now later, and it is you're taxed with doing that, that's what it is. Because if you flip that, them girls gonna give you your 100 lashes for that now later. They don't care about what you're talking about. And it's crazy. He's the man, and he's feeling sympathetic. They already, and I'm gonna land here, made their choice in the woman that they wanted, the behavior from the woman that they wanted, the man that supplied. I'm not saying he was a perfect man, but it seems like financially, as a provider, a patriarch, he guided them in the right direction. Right? He started it. They went to college. They now have college debt. They did what it is they were supposed to do. I will assume that they probably married in some type of way, because that's usually how they move. The woman moved to another man. So yeah, he built his legacy. I think he did everything he was supposed to do. And in death, it don't get no better than that insurance. He didn't leave it to probate, and they didn't get nothing or opportunity to get nothing. He left it to his son, who we was supposed to leave it to, who's supposed to make the proper decision moving forward. And if that's decision to help them, that's his decision. You got 10 tickets. I wouldn't make it an investment into them. I'm not giving you anything, but there is a way that me giving you this could benefit me. So if I give you 300, I'm looking to make 9. How do we do that? And if she says yes, again, it's your money, your rules. She say no, zero pressure from me.
Yeah, and I believe the son also said in the commentary that the dad had an opportunity to change his will and actually kept it the way it is, where he was the only beneficiary. So this was a conscious decision from the point of view of the dad to not give the mom.
I think the situation is this: he's conflicted between the Christian values and being faithful to his father, because the Christian values say forgive them, give a helping hand, be a good steward, right? Donate to the poor, give to charity, and so on and so forth. But then his father is like, well, hey man, at the end of the day, they were not loyal, and you were loyal to me, etc., etc. So I have my inheritance. And the problem is that the black woman just pretty much, man, said, screw your last will and testament. Screw your final wishes. We don't need to honor that, right? What we need to do is we need to say, hey, at all times, protect, upheld, and take care of women, regardless of their decision making, regardless of what they did or didn't do. At the end of the day, it is men's job to take care of women, just without any reproach, and that's the biggest problem there. And shame on her as a Christian to not respect the final wishes of the deceased, and shame on her again for even chastising her and name calling that man after he deceased. It's just diabolical.
Yeah,
And she
I agree.
didn't.
Go ahead.
Quickly. Yeah, quickly. Notice that she didn't say anything negative about the mom, right? You know what I'm saying? And she went as far as to even say that if he was so perfect, why did the daughters go with the mom? I'm saying she at no point did she even criticize the mom, I'm saying, in a negative way. Go ahead.
Even after learning that her mom cheated and left and ran off with another man, she still didn't say anything bad.
That was crazy when she was like, oh, well, what did the father do? That was crazy. She totally ignored the cheating and was like, well,
but
that was oh man,
I give her a little, I guess a little slack because I mean those questions should have been asked. Those are legitimate questions. You know what I mean?
But she answered them, bro. He answered them, because she said,
right,
what happened?
Right,
The mom cheated. So why is there a strain between the two children and father? Well, they chose mom, and they didn't. And on top of that, they knew and never told dad. They
Right.
never told that.
But I guess my point is, I mean, I don't know. What do we? I don't know. I'll say I don't expect nothing else from most, like 99.9% of what I don't expect that. Nothing. They're doing what they do.
That's the problem, man. That's
It's not a problem. It's what they are. That's who they are.
No,
it's what
in
you
general.
allow.
In general.
It's what you allow.
But I'm saying we have to, yes, as men, we have to be the enforcers. We have to hold down strict rules and protocol and structure. That's our job. That's what we do.
That's what he's supposed to do on behalf of his. That's what he's
Absolutely. That's why I said yes, and that's why I agree exactly with what he's doing. I mean, he's kind of conflicted though, but I'm just saying I agree with the father and the son. But hopefully he holds fast. I mean, he's steadfast and holds on to that because it seems like he might be, maybe bending or breaking. Hopefully he doesn't.
No, Wonder Bread is going to fold. Wonder Bread is absolutely
Wonder Bread.
That's not.
Hey, will he stay intact? Is it good bread? Yeah, that's good bread. So that means he'll be intact.
Hold on.
after
Let me make this distinction really quickly. See, the problem is this: when we say women are going to do this, that's how women are. We are making exceptions and giving them space.
No, we're not.
For dysfunction, right?
No, we're not.
Yes, you are, bro. Yes, you are. There are adults. You can hold them to a standard.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know why y'all always get that twisted. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you say that's how they are, who they are, why don't other people and other cultures have this? Why in the Middle East? No. You cannot find daughters in Saudi Arabia that's going to do with those two daughters did.
Why? Why is that? Why is that? They hold a strict. They have strict structure there as the men.
Yeah, but they will never. A man will never tell you that. Oh, all women going to betray me like that. No.
See, no one said. No one. You guys be twisting words up. Why do you guys do that?
Because that's what you said.
That's not what I said.
Okay, repeat what you said.
No, I don't know exactly what I said. I'm just saying women are women. But I'm just saying we have to hold the structure. We have to hold them accountable. It's our job. Are all of them the exact same? No. I'm just saying that's just their nature for the most part, bro. That's just what they are. That's undeniable. How can we not? And I'm saying
simple. So there's a default, right? There's a default, and we have, as generals, right, have to be armed with knowing. Wait a minute. Hold on, Hot. I ain't gonna swear. I promise, bro. I ain't been 30 seconds. I'm here and I'm out.
You're interjecting. So here's
no, we not. Hold on. Listen to me.
No. When
it comes, hey, y'all. Hey, respect Roger's channel, man. Respect his channel, man.
Yeah, let Hot Sauce get his thing. Yeah,
let me get his channel.
So listen, when it comes to loyalty of family, women are expected to be loyal to the family.
Yes.
Not relationships, but women are expected to be loyal to their blood.
Yes.
You goddamn right.
I mean, I don't know. Did I say they shouldn't?
No, you said women are women, and that's what you're going to do and all that extra shit.
They have the propensity to do that, man. That's just what they are in nature, bro. And they shouldn't do that to absolutely. That's why his father gave the son the money, man. He held them accountable.
Which is why we on these panels every day discussing these behaviors.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why that's even something to be. Contentious. It's just the guys over in the Middle East. No, I'm saying the guys in the Middle East hold a strict program.
They do.
No, but I mean, this is
we don't. American men don't. American men don't. American men don't.
Even in China, would not portray her father like that. Even in China, and they're not nowhere near as strict as the Middle East. Like, it's just not done here.
But in America, you got sons out here who are son husbands to 4 moms. So we don't hold the line. from a collective standpoint.
That's
That's why they feel like they can. That's why they believe they can do it. Because if they can get away with it in their own families, if they can get away with it in their own families, why would any dudes outside of the family think it's going to be any different for them? If they think they can do it to their own father, I mean, I grew up with my father. Man, my dad is in the grave, and I'm still scared of my goddamn dad. That's how much. That's how much masculinity my dad was possessing. So I'm just saying, like, you gotta really see the play here, man. This is some American shit, and this is why a lot of dudes. It ain't just black either. It's across the board. They will allow daughters to get away with some of the worst shit out here. I've said this numerous times. I've seen this. I've seen fathers out here with their daughters in restaurants with cut off shorts. I mean, 19, 20 years old, cowboy boots, cut off booty shorts. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all, dog?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. See, I tell my girls, go back in the house and put something on.
And the law don't care. Only people who care about your kids is you. The law don't care. They're not gonna cuddle them. They're try. Oh, I'm sorry. When they fuck up, they're gonna deal with them as such. And that's the world. The world. The only people that love our children is us. Who's gonna give them some grace? And you may get a little bit depending upon how you look, what your aesthetic is from other places. But for the most part, if you mess up, people are gonna feel like you should be accountable for your mistakes. I don't care what you look like or what you think you're entitled to. That's just what it is. Some of us have a problem with enforcement. That's what it is. Here it is. And now you tasked to be police. You got to arrest this cat. How are you going to arrest him? He's 300 pounds, right? You 180. How are you going to arrest him? How are you going to enforce your rules on this individual, right? How do you do that? And that by nature is what some people deal with. They have a problem with enforcement. They have a problem with actually, you can lay out rules, but it's different when you're now they're not following the rules. Your happy wife ain't happy no more.
Hey, I have 3 daughters, man. I don't have a son, man. I would imagine, I don't suspect that my daughters would betray me to that level. But if they did, it wouldn't surprise me, man. It just wouldn't surprise me.
That's a dangerous attitude, brother. That's a dangerous.
No. I'm a realist, man. I'm just in reality. I've seen too much, man. I know what it is.
But the reason why it is because not you. Let me not make it.
You can throw me in there. Go ahead. Go for it.
I want to make it general, but it's that type of attitude that America has had when it comes to women, right? No accountability. No need to act like an adult that allows kind of behavior.
No accountability. No, we have to hold them accountable. I've never said that. I don't know. I'm kind of hard on my daughters, man. For most dads, when they look at me, it's like I'm a crazy lunatic almost, man. To be honest with you, I'm just saying, and I'm speaking about me in personal, but I'm just saying, like, overall, most dads. We were discussing about women looking for dads. When I said they're not looking for dads, because that's not how dads operate. They're looking for T-Ricks, man. They're looking for tricks, bro. To be honest with you, because the dad doesn't you don't just spoil your daughter, man. It just he gets away with anything. And go ahead.
You're not hearing me when I said they're looking for a father. What I'm saying is when they're looking for a father is
no. You made a legitimate point. I agree with what you said the other day. I agree with what you said.
Yeah, they don't know what a father is. They're looking at TV version because they'll say, I want a dude that can check me, right? I want a dude that does this, that, and a labor of love because they never had that. There's definitely a void there where you don't have your father, and you expect your man to fill that void to some extent. Come on, we gotta be, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just natural human being.
Yeah, they are looking for a distorted version of a father, or they're not looking for the totality of it. It's not a true father. They're just looking for some good guy to give them whatever they want and not hold them accountable and smile and laugh all the time. Those are sitcoms, fellas. You don't see the discipline, real discipline.
We agree.
Well, the thing, hold on. The thing is that the white dude on the panel, he was almost there until he tried to shame the guy in terms of his lack of forgiveness. When he went there, that's when it went off the rails for me. For him, he was on point for the most part, but when he tried to shame him for his lack of forgiveness, because even psychologists, and I have read women psychologists talking about women who dealt with their own mother's transgressions, you do not have to forgive. Okay? This is something that females love to do to men. First of all, females love to talk about feelings, how much females are about feelings and emotions. And then the moment that a man expresses his feelings, they try to shame a man for expressing his feelings and emotions. Rightfully so. Okay? It is one of their tactics to try to subdue you. And so these female psychologists wouldn't even agree with this particular panel with the dude and the females, especially the female, because they even say, even when they're talking to females of the kind of mother that these children have, if you choose to forgive, that's your choice, but you don't have to. And they even say, if you choose to cut your mom off because she is so beyond redemption, you can do that too, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. At the end of the day, you know the person who is not feeling anything in this whole situation? The mom. The mom is the one that's probably putting the daughters up to asking for the money in the first place.
Yeah.
That's the one that's actually manipulating the whole situation. So she's still trying to manipulate the father's death, the father's work, the father's code. Think about this. Because the code that his son has is based off of what his father taught him. So she's still fighting his father in death through his seeds. That's diabolical. That is the utmost evil. Because she could have nipped this in the bud, and I guarantee you, I bet you that bitch never apologized to that son. I bet you she never came to him and asked him for forgiveness. And they're expecting the father to have forgiven her, and they're expecting the son, who we all know he saw his dad break down. You could tell that young man is hurting, not because his family just broke up, but he saw his father hurt. And if you ever seen your own father hurt, that's some hurtful shit to you as a son. I've seen it. So nah, bro. No.
Hey, Ryo, I usually agree with almost everything you said, but I just look at this a little differently. Just this particular part of that with the forgiveness thing, whatever those female psychologists were saying, I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I think it's dumb. The forgiveness is for the person. I think it's for the person that's extending the forgiveness.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
You didn't hit the whole point. Okay, so
they
didn't say you don't forgive. They didn't say you don't forgive.
You know, I heard what you said. You say they don't have to forgive.
They don't have
they don't
to
have to. Yeah, absolutely.
Because forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you.
Right, absolutely.
It's about you. So so they made that clear. So it's not about that person. They're just saying, the only reason why they said that was because they know that there are moms out there that's like that will try to make you feel guilty for not forgiving.
Absolutely.
Which is what this dude is feeling. He's feeling guilt because he really doesn't want to forgive.
Well, I think it might be some guilt, but there is probably some resentment. It's really to free himself from the emotional conflict within himself, man. I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like that's all it's for. That's the reason he's calling up to that show, because he still has that conflict. So you don't have to give money out when you forgive somebody. You don't have to kick it with them. You don't have to smile and laugh and hug and it's really to free yourself of the conflict within, and you can move on with your life, man. He can still not He can still not hang out with them at all, not speak to them or anything like that.
I agree overall. I agree. If it's good, I look at it like whatever is good for you to help you move on, do it. If you feel like forgiveness ain't gonna help you move on, and you don't want to, you don't have to, because it's your choice. It's your choice.
It's definitely always your choice.
Well, okay, I do want to say this because if we're going by the Bible, you do have to forgive, right? Because when you, like, even in the Lord's Prayer, forgive us as we forgive those who sin against us. So you do need to forgive if you want forgiveness from the Most High, right? Because that is especially from your brother and sister, from your tribe. So I understand like that the Christian like forgiveness for you, but no, in biblical text and in Hebrew understanding, forgiveness is necessary if you want forgiveness from God.
Okay, so let me say this to that. So you absolutely can forgive, but forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Just because you forgive someone does not mean you have to reconcile with that person.
No, yes you do. Yes you
right?
do, because that's a
no.
Yes,
well, God forgives the world of its sins through Jesus' sacrifice, right? But not everybody's going to get into heaven because they haven't been reconciled.
But forgiveness is part of reconciliation, right? That's the whole point of. For example,
all forgiveness does not lead to reconciliation.
It depends on what's your. Do you have a strict definition of reconciliation?
That's the whole. Hold on, let me please finish my statement. That is the whole point of atonement, right? The Feast of Atonement is to reconcile. It is to reconcile for your sin. And one of the things you need to do if you want for forgiveness, as biblically instructed, you must forgive, right? Because that is actually literally the Lord's Prayer.
No, I'm gonna say I have read that myself. You actually do have to forgive. The thing is, you don't have to forgive on somebody else's time. You ain't got to forgive them on their schedule. You do it
terms.
You know, exactly. You don't have to do it on their terms either. And I'm gonna read this from what Black Rule done said while I was away, and I appreciate y'all for respecting the show. And he said, what Black Rule Strike said. Jado is saying what they do is natural to the female. It's up to men to curb and control it when speaking on their misbehaviors. He also said, but they must be trained to be that way. Otherwise, they will go astray if given a chance. So yeah, you give women some room, she gonna run with it. Yeah, obviously these women are trying to run with it right now when it comes to what their father has been able to do before he passed. He says Jado has actually had to deal with the things in a way that other men have to endure. You all really need to respect that. Okay, I don't know what he was referring to right there. I don't remember. Yeah, what it is. I don't remember. And I guess that was it. No, one more. You said you all are ignoring that he might actually love his sisters, even in spite of what they did. And that as much as anything might be what he is dealing with and what might really inform his decision. And I do believe the man loves his sister. I think that's very evident, from my perspective. But I'm going to say the thing is he ain't been taught his proper position. Bro, they're not your daughters. At the end of the day, I'm not supposed to be thinking about my sisters going into college. And now, if you live in a very patriarchal world, cool. It is your responsibility as being that elder male. These just some kids that don't belong to him. Okay? They're his sisters. Yeah, be nice to them. Buy them a Christmas gift if y'all celebrate Christmas. Buy them some birthday gifts if y'all celebrate your birthdays. But this just some sisters. This is not his kids. It's one thing to say, help me with something small. You talking about college tuition now? We talking about $300,000.
Roger,
No.
you don't think that white dude was taught that those are not his children?
Well, maybe he need to remember what he was taught then, because at the end of the day, it should not be anybody's expectation that I pay my sister college tuition.
It's just look. I'm just saying us as men. He's the big brother, right? we're men. We have no right, Roger. No, I'm just saying we're men, fellas. Like we have a natural propensity as well. That's their big brother, and he has a lot of money at his disposal.
Yeah.
So he has a conflict within. Man, he does love his sister. You can hear it.
And he can get a job. Give him a job.
But yep.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm not suggesting. I'm saying he shouldn't give them the money. So guys, just let's not get it twisted. I've made my, but I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. He can give them a job because he got poor. He got companies now. His father done laid stuff out for him. So guess what? If you want to help your sisters because you love them, give them a job.
Hold on. If we're going to use the biblical the biblical aspect of this, God kicked Eve's ass out the garden for disobeying. That was his daughter. Okay? He kicked her out. He put her ass out. Okay? All right? Before, her father provided her abundance because they both had an inheritance. When they disobeyed, they lost that inheritance. Okay? If it works for him, it works for me. Because again, I think this is pure evil, to be honest. This ain't even about money. Even though he called the show and he was asking for help about money, what he was really wanting help on was how to see the relationship with these people. That's what he really was looking for. He don't have a problem giving them anything if the circumstances was proper. But he told us what the circumstances was, and the circumstances was improper. And it's messing with him because he didn't grow up with them at a certain point. Okay? So there was some kind of bond there. But see, this is where we gotta take the love out of this shit. Okay? Because this is about duty now. This is about obligation. This is what your father directed you to do. Okay? Before my dad died, my sister was supposed to be move with dad to try to get her life together. Okay? My dad leaned to me when we was watching boxing one day, and he said, "Man, that girl came up here saying she wanted to get her shit together." He was like, "Man, that girl ain't gonna do shit." I listened. And when he passed, when she was trying to do all that fuck shit in the streets, I said, "Man, you got to go." He got put out. Let me tell you something. That was 2002. Man, I ain't talked to that bitch since. I ain't talked to her in 24 years because I stood on what my father said. Once my dad gave you the opportunity to get yourself together and you disobeyed and you disrespected him and didn't do that, which means you came to stay with my pops under false pretenses. You just wanted to get to Atlanta so you can get your nigga shit off. Nah, you wasn't gonna get that nigga shit off up under me. So guess what she did? She ran back to Alabama and got back with the dude that my brother beat up on her behalf. And when my brother tried to intervene on it, she told that nigga, like I told him she was gonna say, stay the F out of her business. And if he messed with the dude, she was gonna call the police on my brother. This is the same brother that was giving her money when she was broke, watching her son when she was running the streets. Two different responses. She knew to get away from me because it wasn't going. Because you violated my pops. And see, I'm gonna stand at the gate when it comes to that. If ain't nobody gonna defend my father, even though he's physically gone, I'm still gonna do it. Because that's what I was entrusted to do. And that's what he was entrusted to do. He was entrusted to defend his father. Because the family starts at the father. It don't start at the mama. They wanted to defend their mama, they could go over there and get money from her and her side dude. But when it comes to what he set forth, what he said when he was alive and in his death, That's what his son needs to. That's what his son needs to respect. This is not about no reconciliation. He does not have to reconcile anything. He can forgive him, or he don't have to forgive him. Either way, that's his choice. But because he does have the free will. But he definitely doesn't have to reconcile with them at all. He don't have to be around them at all. He don't have to have no communication with them whatsoever. My life is good. I have no communication with my sister. That's 24 years. I don't think about it.
And I'm gonna say, hold on, I'm gonna say shout out to Black Hoover Strike. He says, I don't get much sense of what his father directed and prepared him to do. If it were otherwise, it is unlikely he would be calling into strangers on some Christian podcast. Now, and I'm gonna say this: he never said that he was directed not to help his sisters. It's simply just his money. At the end of the day, as a good Christian man, you are supposed to make sure you straight. You're supposed to make sure your wife is straight. You're supposed to make sure your children are straight. You're even supposed to build something up enough so you can give some inheritance to your grandchildren. These girls ain't none of them people. These women that's his sisters are none of these people.
Nope.
There's nothing to forgive. However, what they did was they betrayed their father. I'm your brother. I'm not involved in the betrayal of your father. You got to fix your relationship up so when your father died, your father give you something. What he gave me is what he gave me. I don't want to hear about your college loans. You're not my daughters. See, we overcomplicate stuff that's real simple.
Roger, you're a proponent of charity, right? Don't you say that quite a bit, right?
Yeah. You got to give charity.
So why would
places?
So with that, why wouldn't he just give charity to his sisters?
Who's gonna give out $300,000 worth of charity though?
If he chooses to do so, he can just say, "Yeah, I'm just being charitable."
He could if he wanted to. I'm not saying he would be wrong if he did that because it is cool to get charity. But the thing is, that is charity. I'm not going to concern myself with
to do that.
Hold on, before y'all go, I'm gonna say I'm not going to concern myself with my sister's lifestyle like that. It wouldn't be me,
man.
You can give me $1 billion right now. You know what I'm gonna give my sisters? A job. Because their lifestyle ain't my concern. They're not my daughters. I love my sisters, but they are my sisters. They are not my daughters.
Okay. Right. I'm just saying. I'm just putting. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Well, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to reiterate the point that we don't live in this quote unquote patriarchal system. Patriarchy in America is a self thing where you pick to live that way yourself. The government don't support it, and most people don't support it. So if I'm going to be patriarchal, that's my choice. And I'm saying there's nothing that anybody can tell me that tells me why I need to pay my sister's college payment off. They are grown adults living in America. They can do all the things that I can do. I can get a job, but so can they. You know what I'm saying? I can start a business, but so can they. I can go to the military, but so can they. Heck, they went to college. I could go to college, so can they. So there's nothing for me to do in this situation. And I think the issue is people ain't talking to him properly about what his position is. You are just simply a man with money who happens to be related to two women that owe college debts. If they want to pay the money off, get a job. Heck,
that's what they're saying, though. That's just what they're saying, though. They could be asking him for the money to give to their mama, though.
Because at the end of the day, there is something to reconcile, because he did say he resented them for choosing the mother over the father. He did say that, right? And he was pissed at them for that, because at the very end he said, well, you haven't forgiven them either. He said, no, I haven't, right? So that's the issue there. Number two, right? At the end of the day, they are your siblings. You are going to feel a certain type of way of like, damn, I should break them off something. They are my siblings, right? No, maybe not you guys, but the average person, the average person is going to feel that type of way. Yes. And in the Bible, and you do help out your fellow man, right? Your neighbor, right? Your siblings at minimum is your goddamn neighbor. So you do supposed to look out for one another in the Bible. That's what tithes are. Tithing is community.
Well,
Tithing,
hold on, bro.
Tithes go to the
Yeah,
unfortunate
can
of the church,
I
man.
finish?
hold on. Let
Can I
him finish.
finish?
I gotta finish the thought, and I gotta let these two new guys in.
So at the end of the day, the Bible does talk about love your neighbor like you love yourself. It does talk about tithing and helping out the community, right? So when
What's
we're
the
talking
context?
about the
What's the
Bible,
context?
but that is the context, right? To help out the community. That is the
Okay,
context.
Community and family are two different things,
Let me,
though.
let me
Hey,
finish.
after
Let me finish.
I
So
got
at
you,
the
bro.
end
I'll
of the
get you
day,
in.
his Christian values are conflicting with the directive of what his father initiative is. His father's giving him directions in one way. His Christian values are saying, well, these contradict. These are in direct conflict with one another. That's why he's calling a Christian financial show. And
Okay,
I'll leave it.
now I'm gonna say because I don't think there's any confliction except in his
You're
heart because he don't know what his position is, his proper position. And Black Rule Strike says apparently even his own father didn't teach him any of that, Roger. Well, I'm gonna say this so people know. The man got money now. He simply has sisters, but he does have money now. Okay. At the end of the day, they are not your daughters. If I come into money like that, I will give my sisters a job. Why? Because I'm not gonna concern myself with their day-to-day lifestyle. That's not my job. That's a job between them and their husbands. That's who's supposed to think about that, not me. They're my sisters, they're not my daughters. There is a difference. Okay? We're not living in some super patriarchal system where only men work and women don't. So therefore, it's not my responsibility to make sure every single woman is taken care of. I will give charity like God says to give charity. So guess what, y'all? I've given to charity, and I got sisters right now. If my sisters ask me for some stuff, if it's small enough, I will give it to them. If they ask me for something too big, I'm gonna say, well, number one, I ain't really got to worry about it because they got husbands. But if they ask me something for that was too big, well, first of all, don't ask me for nothing unless your husband say it's okay. That's number one. Don't ask me for nothing unless your husband say it's okay. So I don't mind helping my sisters because, yeah, they are my sisters. We're not talking about just helping somebody. We're talking about doing stuff that deals with their lifestyle. We're talking about paying off college loans. I'm not paying my sister's college loans off. That's just not going to happen.
Roger, you said if it's something small enough. So what is you sitting on 10 plus milli? What is that, small or big?
That's small. It's small.
I'm just asking. I'm just throwing these things out here.
300,000 is still a significant amount of money, even
Okay.
if I'm sitting on 10 million.
Sound good.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I can give you a job. I got a company now. I can give you a job. What we're dealing with is some women who want to live an irresponsible lifestyle. That's why they haven't paid the 300,000 back themselves. You are able-bodied women living in America. Handle that. You want to kick it and live off men, but you don't want to get with a man that's willing to take care of you. And that probably has a lot to do with what your mama showed you when you was growing up. At the end of the day, we're just talking about irresponsible women. And it is not my job to pay off irresponsible women's bills. But I'm finna get a flow to the guest that just came up. We got Twist and Shout is back, and we got Truth Teller after him. So let's let them get it in. And after Truth Teller, I'm gonna let Bronk get in there. Okay? Go ahead, Twist and Shout.
Peace to the chat. Happy Friday. Peace to the panel. Happy Friday.
Chop.
What up? What up?
I gotta definitely agree with Jay though. Y'all kind of piled on him. You can't expect a motorcycle to operate like a four-wheel vehicle, and that's women. You know what I mean? You gotta treat them like a motorcycle and understand that they're motorcycles because they just revert to their nature as much as they can. And we in America, we don't. It's no patriarchy going on in America. It's strictly matriarchy. And as far as homeboy that was explaining the thing, I can't really be mad at the black sister for coming to her conclusions because of the way a homeboy described the situation. The whole cheating thing, and that came out way later. Like he explained all kinds of stuff and then put everything into proper perspective. He was supposed to start off with my mom's cheated on my father and my sister sided with him, and he didn't leave them anything in the will. Point blank. He went all the way around to where they already came to conclusions off of the lame story that he told them. And then I think his gripe is they lied to him also. because he said me and my father didn't know anything about it. So his little sisters lied to him too. Like I think he could get over it if you know what I mean, it was just what it was. But I think the fact that his sisters and his moms left him out of the loop. So it's just like him and Pops is chilling thinking everything is cool. And then out of the blue, it's like blam. And then after that, it's like, wait, y'all knew about this too? Like, do you really I can't see him. That's foul. Like I would be heartbroken. Like y'all my little sisters. We chill, we bug out, you know what I mean? We running through the house crazy in the backyard, da 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 da. And this is something y'all was hiding from me. So I think that's his biggest gripe. But I can't be mad at him for not wanting to give them anything, because if his father said don't do it, his father said don't do it. I would definitely put something aside for my nieces and nephews for when they become 21, and if they want to break their mamas off, then they could do that. But I would do that for them. But I can't. The only thing I'm mad at him about is the way he explained the story. Now I'll close right there. I'll pass it to Truth Teller. Did I close
Truth
up?
Teller.
Yeah, that's crazy. Truth Teller ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, I can't believe it.
He definitely got something to say.
Good Friday.
No, he definitely got something to say. His game working, man.
I guess Inspired Truth go, and then when Truth Teller get back, he out the bathroom, he can come back.
All right. So, as per usual, peace to the chat, peace to the panel. I hope y'all are having a fantastic Friday. Gosh, this is some nasty work here. You know what the coldest phrase in the Bible is? Like one of the coldest quotes over there. It's like, I never knew you, depart from me. And think about who said that. Wasn't that the most forgiving person of them all? I never knew you, depart from me. So let's put that in the back of our mind. The man did say that after the whole split and everything, they really didn't have a whole lot to do with each other. So what we're talking about is like blood-bound strangers. They're still, these are adult strangers that just so happen to share the same blood. And there's consequences for that. And one of those consequences is that maybe you won't be broken off. Like that, if you are a stranger, you might not be in the will like that anymore. The other side to this is I think we kind of touched on like nature, and there's a lot of misconception that what is natural is what is correct. Like we eat with a fork and a knife. That's not natural, but it is correct. We stand upright when we walk. It's not be natural, but it's correct. We end up cooking our food before we eat it. That's not something that you see too much in nature, but it is correct. So there's a little bit of caveat that you have to put when you consider these different things. And I do agree that maybe there might be some tendencies that some of the ladies might have. And I think culture kind of mitigates some of that so that we can have cohesion. And I guess I'll kind of like land there for now. With the cultural practices thing.
Hey, Inspired Truth, you
All right.
lost me a little bit. What you let us know?
I can't hear you.
I don't know who that is, but I cannot hear you. But I am bringing up Great Black Reset, so I'm gonna let him get the mic. You got it.
What's up, man? What's happening, fellas? I want to say shout out to this portrait of No Placeholders family back here, man. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Inside the comedian right here. Inside the comedian.
You know, I came up for two reasons. The first reason is so Brock could have to wait just a little while longer, just a little while.
Yeah. Hey,
And the
y'all
second,
heard something?
hey, let me get my 2 minutes in, sir. And the second reason is, man, it's over. We covering everything but the right thing. It's over. We got the cold and the white people got the flu. They going through the same thing. We going through the same exact stuff, man. Even the white man don't know what to do with these white women out here, bro. It's over in America when it comes to family and relationships, man. what black people need to be doing is getting married and having children and starting and going in the right direction of trying to start outnumber these white folk, and our women just won't cooperate and see that we can grab some influence and power out here, man. It's over, man. It's over in the U.S., man. This is a tragedy. But I do agree that this guy, he need to get himself together. Maybe he's just suffering from the loss of his father, and his mind ain't in the right place. But he need to get himself together, man. His sisters ain't about nothing, and he just need to move on without them. Now, if he want to help them out, and it's just gonna be a little spitting in the bucket for him, he can go ahead and do that. Ain't no big deal. But man, he need to go on and live his life and forget about his sisters, man. And I'll let my friend there.
Okay. Now, True Teller got knocked off. True Teller, did you get yours in? Did True Teller get his opening statement in?
Nah, he
Nah,
didn't get it in.
nah, he didn't.
Okay, then we get True Teller, then we get the Brown. True Teller, you there? All right, Bronk, I think you better get in there. Look like he on something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You go ahead, Bronk. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They've been stepping on you, man. I want you, I want you to be able to speak.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm just gonna read something because Hot Sauce trying to look at all this from a Christian perspective, but I think he's forgetting something in the Bible.
Oh Lord.
That he's supposed to be coming from. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be quick. I just really have a question for everybody. Since when did forgiving somebody mean you actually got to give them a gift too?
It doesn't mean that.
Doesn't mean it at all.
Anybody thinks it means that?
No.
Ask the question one more time.
Since when does forgiving somebody mean you have to give them a gift too?
Oh, that's in women's world. That's what that means. But
that's women's world.
Women's world.
So I don't even know what the argument is about, because on that church show, they did a couple things. She did a lot of woman things on there. That I was like, wait, hold on, whoa, wait. So in order for him to forgive them, he also has to give them money that his father told him not to give them. That's exactly what she was saying. So basically, she was saying, they're hoes, you got to pay them. That's what she was saying. They're hoes, you got to pay them. Now, you're going to ask, hey, how are they hoes? Their mama might be one, but how are they? They assisted the hoedom. So therefore, they're part of that whole team.
Yeah.
So therefore, he can forgive them, and it has nothing. I don't know why we even talking about giving them money and forgiveness. Those are two separate things. They can be forgiven, and we can reconcile, and they don't have to get a dime. So why is it that they also have to receive finances with receiving forgiveness? I'm just confused on how those two things even align. That's it for me.
I agree with you, and for all of my Game of Thrones fans, I just have like one word for you: Hodor.
All right, I'm gonna say, shout out to Inspired 2 Broadcast who dropped $5 in the bucket for me. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. Now I was gonna definitely try to focus in a little time, even though this is an unsupervised white people. Y'all saw what that black woman was doing, okay? So, in this special case of unsupervised white people where this black woman involved herself, I'm gonna say in a way she really should have been involved herself in. I mean, obviously in some show she's a co-host or whatever, so she got to say something. But at the end of the day, I mean, she was just on some. You need to give your sister some money, no matter what their situation is. But y'all, I want y'all to see that if a black woman would tell this to a white man, even though he's a gay, what chance you got? Because she's telling this to the white man now, and y'all know how they love white men. Now she was careful on how she said it. She didn't get ignorant with him, didn't yell at him or anything like that. She was trying to do it as nicely as she possibly can, but she still was on some, what, you should get them hold something. You know? I understand that they was kicking the old boy, but they your sister, you should give them something. I mean, how do you watch a woman give a message like that and think she okay? So,
Roger.
I don't know who married her, if she's married, but good luck to you.
I want
It's the
to.
womanhood. As long as the common denominator is going against a man, they gonna stick together no matter the color.
I want to. I know Bronk. Bronk. I know you've been. Let me. Can I get in after Bronk? Let me get in after Bronk, please.
No, that wasn't Bronk. That was Shark Sim said something. He done. He said
but
what he
I know.
said.
No, but Bronk was trying to get in for a while.
Was he?
Man, ain't
Maybe
nobody
you.
here
Hey,
listening.
I'll step over. You want me to step over too?
Ain't nobody here listening to Otis, man. Go ahead.
Bron got knocked off.
Hey,
Bron got knocked off. He backstage right now, just
okay.
coming back. So he got knocked off.
Cool. Hey, if you think that I'm just the imaginary hypothetical scenario, if this white man asked 10 black men this he sought counsel from 10 black men, just average black men, what do you think they would advise him?
Give your sister some money.
Oh, Jado turned the lights on.
I'm just asking. If we're gonna be serious.
He turned the lights on and turned the music off.
I didn't hear you.
I'm saying if he asked 10 average black men in this country, he sought counsel from them with this same scenario, how would they advise him? How would they advise them? What do you think they would advise him?
Man, them niggas will say give them all the money. They'll say give them all the money.
All right, I'm just making okay. I mean, I knew the answer already. I just would have asked.
I mean, just because some people will give you bad advice, does that mean you should take bad advice?
Hey, right? I mean, that white boy, he's under a lot of pressure, man. And I'm not saying a white man probably would do the same thing, most likely, man. We have a problem in this country.
It's the environment.
What? I'm gonna say shout out real quick to Kenzie and Red. He said Roger Report, he has to give money because in women world, giving money is the same as giving fruit, meat, or repentance. My thing is, who's supposed to be in charge, y'all? Who's supposed to be in charge? If I'm supposed to be in charge, I can't give them no money just because.
Most Christians are going to say, give your sister some money. Most Christians, regardless of race, most Christians are going to say, forgive them, give them money.
But I think the Bible would probably say to give them a job. You can teach
what if they were atheists?
You can give a person a fish, or you can teach them how to fish.
But he's asking the question: how many people, if he called black men, if they are Christian, most black men are going to say, "Give your sister money."
Let's say all of.
I respect your mother and your father, so your days will be long.
Let's say all of them are not Christian.
They still giving that money to their sister.
Still giving the money. Majority will say give the money.
Okay.
How about what's good for the situation? What's good for the situation is you got two women who got $300,000 of college debt that need to be paid off. What do they need? They need jobs. What does he have? Companies. Give him a job.
Hey, Roger. Even with that sounds good. But do you want those type of people working for you? I mean, come on. I'm just saying, fellas. Can we really think this out and talk about it for real? I don't want them. I don't want them hoes working for me. They're not loyal to their dad. Why the hell would I give them a job?
Want them hoes working for me.
I'm just saying, fellas, can we talk about this for real?
They ain't got to be vice presidents, but they can get a
job. Nothing. Janitor, nothing, brother, nothing. You get no soy sauce for you, man. Hey, nothing, man.
This is the time where you extend yourself to help your siblings. So even though it may not be what I perceive as my best interest, I'm gonna give you some extra room because you my sibling. Here go a mop. There go the floors.
Oh, sir.
Make it happen.
But let me read this from Black.
Let me read this from Black Hulu real quick. Black Hulu says, "I like Roger's idea of giving them a job. the optimal thing to do would be to have them work for something their father created as a form of recompense to their betrayal of them. Now, you see, you can actually let them try to forgive. Okay, try to forgive. You know,
That's problematic, though,
I
right?
wouldn't.
I don't even think they're supposed to have his last
But
name.
Roger,
Well, no. So hold on.
They're supposed to have his
Jado,
last name.
Let me read the last piece.
I know, I
Let me
know,
read
I
the last
know,
piece. Let me
I
read the
know.
last piece. He said, if I cannot trust them to help them with my father's business, I ain't giving them ish. And I'm breaking all contact with them. So there we go. There we go.
Do you want these people up on you like that though? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, bro.
exactly, J-Lo.
Yes,
So think
I
about it.
don't
I have
Think
get
to
about
it,
it.
agree.
man.
I have to agree to an extent. Like
Wasn't
when you
that
think
alive?
about it, these people are a part of your reputation. Whoever you have work for you is
Let me
going to
hold
affect
on.
your reputation.
Hold on. Let me tell you something,
And more
man.
importantly, not
Go ahead. No, finish up. I'll go after you. I'll go after you. No, I'll
very
go after
quickly,
you.
very quickly, very quickly. When you go around, that wasn't Dad alive, and didn't Dad try to basically, like form a bond between his grandchild, and you refuse that? Like, come on, man. Like, why is he conflicted? You know what I'm saying? They know what they were doing. They waited till Dad was out of the picture to take advantage of his kindness because they know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dad was alive before Dad could have died. You could have brought the grandkid over there. You could have reconciled with Dad. You could have asked for forgiveness from Dad because you're the one that betrayed Dad. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Ryan. Jump in.
Well, what I was gonna say is that when Alonzo was doing his wealth brunches, he had some shows where, and this was black people that was like in estate planning and things like that. And I'm glad that Bronk was trying to allude to that because this is very important. When it comes to things like wills and trusts and things like that, man, there's a different way of operating when it comes to stuff like that. You can't just do whatever you want or feel, okay? Because when people are leaving you things in that manner, now you have a legal obligation to follow the directions that's set forth in these documents, or you can get your ass caught up.
Right.
There were times where it was this one black woman that was on it. She was in the state planning. And she was sharp, boy, and she was talking about all the horror stories of black people not having, or people just in general, but specifically black people who had not had their stuff in order in terms of paperwork, wills, and trust, and making sure things were going to the right people. There was this one story where a black dude, he was with this woman, and they had not gotten married, but they been living together for like 30 something years or something. And he was still technically legally married to his wife. He had never got divorced. They just split up. And when he died, now mind you, he had basically paid off the house. He had paid off the house. And when the woman died, her children came back and took the house from him because based on the laws of that state, since they were technically not married, the mortgage was in her name. So based on the property laws and succession laws in that state, the property went to her children instead of him. Man, they put that old dude out the house. They put him out. That dude was like he was like in his 70s, almost 80s, man. So he could try to facilitate some kind of reconciliation, but he better be very careful based on the laws of his state because he could get set up, man. They could take this dude out and still come back and get that money and that property from him. He need to cut all contact off of them, man. I wouldn't trust it at all. I wouldn't trust, and they could take that money back to their mama too, which is what I think they're actually trying to do. I don't even think they're asking for $300,000 for student loans. I think they're asking for that kind of money to give to their mama.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because she probably trying to retire, right? very quickly. She
Well,
probably trying to retire right after betraying her
She
dad
broke
and
because if she had money, she
realize,
would be paying their.
yep,
Yeah, because if she
yep,
broke,
yep,
if she
yep,
had money, she would be
yep.
paying their debts off. She
well,
broke.
I do want to throw a monkey wrench in here because some of us believe that you should help your sisters out and you shouldn't help your sister. Now, the guy did describe something very interesting that would cause me to question that. When the mother divorced him, the business was not doing well. He didn't have money when she left him. So all that money he gained after the sisters bounced on and the wife bounced on him. Do the
In the
sisters still
divorce,
deserve
and
any of that
after the
money at that
divorce too.
point? Yeah. Do the sisters still deserve
Nope,
any of that money at
nope,
that point?
nope. Because basically, it's after the divorce.
That's why they wasn't on the will, truth teller. Yeah,
Well,
that's
no,
why they
I
wasn't
know
on the
why
will.
he
It
didn't
was
put him
Joe
on the
Bucket.
will because he knew exactly it was a logical reason. Y'all bounced on me. Well, back then y'all didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all on me. It is what it is. So I'm just lost at why somebody might think, hey, I'm still gonna help out my sisters in this particular scenario when they were not there. Their disloyalty allowed them to bounce out on probably the best thing that would have ever happened to them in their life. But now they coming back mad because you don't want to give them none. I don't think he owes them, and they don't deserve or owed anything, even if they didn't side with their mother. If their father decided that they shouldn't get anything, that has nothing to do with religious belief or morals. That's a completely different atmosphere.
I
He
know it
doesn't
ain't
want
got
them to
nothing.
have it. It's his to give. It's his to determine that. It's not. It has nothing to do with morals, God, or values. It
And it
just
ain't
is
got
what it is.
nothing to do with me. I'm just a brother. My daddy gave you what he wanted you to have.
I still ask him out for lunch. Hey, y'all want to go ahead and get something to eat? We're gonna
Yeah,
go
we can go
Dutch.
to lunch.
We going to
Absolutely, we can go to
Dutch
lunch.
though. We going Dutch. I ain't paying for y'all, but we can
Matter
go
of
get
fact, get
together.
get whatever you want to. Get whatever
Yeah.
you want. I got it. Okay.
I want to hear about my nieces and nephews. What's going on?
Let me go to 10 real quick, y'all. Now, shout out to Black Rule Strike. He said he has lots of money. He has the resources necessary to protect himself from their potential. I guess he meant, well, he said betrayal. But I think he meant betrayal on that one. And I'm going to say shout out to Trail Bentley. He dropped $5.57 with the Trail Bentley tax. He says, unsupervised biracial commentators. and shout out to Usual Business. He dropped $10 in. He said, banish her to the shadow realms. Okay. He's saying them sisters need to be banished to the shadow realms. I'm kind of riding with him on that one. Look, man, this just ain't my problem. I'm not their dad. And I think it's unfair for us to look at this man make decisions as if he's supposed to make a fatherly decision about them. This is not a fatherly decision. They're not my daughters. They cool. Whatever I give them is what I give them, but they cool. And I think other men should be telling him that. To me, the host failed to say they are your sisters, they are not your daughters. He's a man. At least one of them was a man. He failed. You talking to him from a godly perspective. From a godly perspective, it's my job to attempt to make sure I'm good, my wife is good, my children are good, and I got enough to leave something for my grandchildren. That's what the Bible saying. Or am I wrong?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
This shows a failure of Christian ethics and the way that we supposed to hold our values. They remove themselves from the covering of their father. They don't supposed to get nothing.
Nope.
They're not under the covering of their brother. They don't supposed to get nothing. They are uncovered women. God tells us to look out for the orphans and the widows, and they are none of that.
No,
None of it.
that's not entirely true, because it does say to look out for your neighbor and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Right? That's part of the Ten Commandments, and they are his neighbor at minimum. Right? At minimum, they are his neighbor, and also
Neighbor suggests outside of your family.
on top of that, again, Christian theos or Christian theology or Christian dogma, better yet, Christian dogma dictates forgiveness, and forgiveness not by, okay, I forgive you, but we're never going to talk again. Not that type of forgiveness, but forgiveness and lending a helping hand. Right? That is his values, whether wrong or right. Those are his values. Just like you're saying, well, you're not my daughter, so that's your values. So the situation is as follows. I mean, that's why he called in, because what his father wants him to do, or his father's last wishes, is A, Christianity as he understands it is B, and they're conflicting with one another. Now, that's what I'm saying. Eventually, he's going to fold. So let it be. Let it be.
He gonna fold.
Right?
He's very confident in folding.
Fold. Like, it is what it is.
But quick question: you have the history on it, so you have the knowledge.
The point of the matter is this: is the fact, because I mean, the white boy on the panel, I was with them until the end where he was like, "You got to forgive him." I was like, "Oh, here we go with the bullshit. Here we go." But, hey, at the end of the day, man, this is why he's in this conflict. So I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at him, because at the end of the day, if you got 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, whatever, right? Because it doesn't sound like 10 million. It sounds more like 20 or 30 million. Breaking off,
he didn't want to say the number. Yeah,
it's whatever, right? It's whatever. And he has so much in abundance that even if you break everybody off with a mill and say, okay, that's it, never talk to me again, it's gonna be whatever, right?
Well,
but the thing about it is, the thing he's gonna have to live with violating. The thing he's gonna have to live with is violating his father with.
So I do want to ask you, because you have the knowledge on the religious background.
Before you ask,
sorry.
Let me do this. Shout out to Elder Blood. He said, I want to ask the audience, Roger, if I may, how many times in their lives have they ever known women to solicit their brothers to betray their mothers? I will wait. That's an interesting question. And of course, I've never heard of that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
They would you up against that, though. They would you up against that.
Yeah. And real quick, Black Rule Strike says hot sauce
and reset
debate. Hot sauce and reset debate is why I'm not religious. This is just goes on and on and on.
Well, hey, look, like the Bible said, hell opens her mouth exceedingly because of all the non-believers. So hey, do what you need to do.
No, it's just iron sharpening iron. Sometimes I'm edified by some of the stuff he says. Sometimes I'll be like, he on some bullshit. You know?
Hey, I want to read something since you're still on the topic of religion, right?
Well, hold on now, because I stopped Truth Teller. He was going to ask a question, so let's get Truth Teller's question in, and then you can read whatever it is that you want to read.
Based on what you said, that he, based on what the Bible says about forgiveness and forgiving, can he do those same things if he didn't have all that money?
No. Don't get me wrong. Forgiving them doesn't mean he has to give his siblings money. No. I'm saying on it, just he is going to do that because that's what Christian dogma is going to tell him. I'm not saying he can just say, I forgive you, and we can move on for choosing mom over dad, even though mom cheated on dad. I'm going to forgive you for that. Because that's what he's mad at them about. But, of course, Christianity is going to say, hey, give him this. No. Forgiveness is just say, hey, I forgive you. I'm willing to move on. I'm never going to bring it up again. I'm going to let it go and try to reestablish a relationship with you. That's forgiveness.
You know what? I wish he would have asked that the chick. I wish he would have asked her, "Hey, do I need to pay them? Do I need to pay them money for us to be able to move on?" Because that's what she was saying. But
no. Honestly, he will have to give them money for them to actually move on, because they ain't gonna drop it. We know that they're not about to drop it.
Which means they're the sinners. So that means I got to sin too now to make them feel better. It's a crazy vicious cycle, because now I gotta co-sign you being okay with. I gotta say I'm okay with you sinning and give you money for doing it so that we can be together.
He's the participant. He's the participant, and he gives them money.
You don't have to do none of that when you pay attention to the fact that these just ain't your daughters. These are not my children. I'm not supposed to pay their college bills. But go ahead, bro.
Hot sauce. What do you think about this scripture? This is Matthew chapter 10, starting at verse 32. And this is in red. Jesus said this, okay? Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before others, I will disown before my Father in heaven. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be members of his own household.
Right.
Whoever loves their father or mother more than he loves me is not worthy of me.
Right.
Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than he loves me is not worthy of me.
Okay.
Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me.
Why do people think if they read loud they're making a point?
So
No.
first of all,
No. I read that because here's a situation where you essentially have this man conflicted between cutting his family off because of what his father told him to do, right? And I mean, it doesn't seem like his father was the unrighteous man. His father didn't jump across town and run off with another woman, and seemed like his father was more of a Christian than his so-called mother.
Hold on, Brock. But first of all, you didn't ask me a question, so shame on you for that. Number two,
I asked you, what do you think about that scripture? What do you make of that scripture?
Okay, so fine. The scripture
It's in the Bible. That's what we think.
So no. So first of all, that nigga father is not God. So you're way out of context right there. Right? Because that nigga father ain't God. Number two, this is about him when he was saying, I'm the Messiah, and people rejected him. Right? Because they crucified him. And that's where the division was. Because during the time of when Christ came, they were under Roman occupation. And prophecy said he was come to be a bondman or a bond kinsman for his brothers. And so when he came, he didn't came how prophecy came. And so when people followed him, that's where the division was. Because some people say, no, he wasn't the son, or he wasn't the Christ. And other people said, yes, he was the Christ. And that was the division he was creating. You're way out of context, bro.
No. I think you're just trying to kind of move the goalpost a bit, and I'm going to push back on that. I'm going to push back on that.
No. I'm saying that verse ain't really got nothing to do with what we talking about. It really don't.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I had that decision before he even started saying something. That thing really got nothing to do with it. What we talking about? The only thing that you can even relate to that is just simply forgiveness. And at the end of the day, the man can forgive his sisters for betraying their father if he has a problem with them for that. That's what he expressed. He does.
So what I'm saying is, you're not in the wrong in any biblical text for cutting family off when they choose not to be on the same program, man.
No, but he doesn't even have to cut family off. They did something to their father.
Yeah.
They didn't do it to me, unless you're gonna talk about you didn't tell me that daddy was getting cheated on. That's the only thing he really could relate to.
But they're asking him for money. They coming back asking him for money.
Anybody can ask a person for money. The thing is, who asking you? And my point the whole day has been, his daughters didn't ask for money. His daughters his daughters is the only person I can look at to say, hey, daddy, I got a college bill. Will you pay it off? Because at the end of the day, when you go to college, you're an adult. When you borrow, you're an adult. You're going to get a degree for your benefit. It's really your responsibility. But if a parent would choose to pay off their college loans, hey, more power to them. That's what they want to do for their child. These girls are not his child. Well, not his children. These are just sisters.
I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is this. This man is in no shape, form, or fashion should feel any ounce of guilt for cutting them off, especially from their father's resources.
My thing is you're going more extreme than necessary. He don't have to cut them off. It's not his job to pay their college tuition. It's not his job.
Yeah, but
Roger,
that's what he's gonna
very
eventually
quickly.
gonna have to
Is
do,
no
man.
but to it ain't your job. You go to work to do your job. If you don't come up to work to do your job, you get fired. They don't fire Tyrone because you didn't come to work and didn't do your job.
No, I hear what you're saying totally, and I get totally what you're saying. What I'm saying is this: that's not going to stop his sisters from pressing him for the money, and that's where the whole
That's what they're gonna
conflict
do.
is starting.
They women, bro.
That's where
They
the whole
women. They
conflict
gonna
is
keep doing.
starting.
But what?
So
But what,
if
bro?
he
What I'm
needs to, so what I'm saying is this: look, the black lady essentially and the guy at the end tried to make this man feel guilty for essentially, if he was going to make the decision to, one, he doesn't want to give them any money, but because he don't want to give them any money, he's going to be in a situation that he's eventually going to have to cut them off because they're going to keep pressing him for it. Now they're trying to make this a forgiveness thing. They're trying to essentially keep the relationship intact when the relationship has already fell apart because all his sisters want is access to the money.
exactly,
So
brother?
what
What I'm trying to get
I'm
across is that
presenting is there should be in no shape or fashion you're coming from a Christian view to like say that this is a issue of his forgiveness
From a
rather than an issue
Christian
of their
view,
greed.
he still ain't my daughters. It's not my job.
yeah, that too.
Not even
I hear
as a
you.
Christian, it ain't
I
my
hear you.
job. See, my thing is, black men, we find ways to take on responsibilities and we act like we're supposed to. You can take on the responsibility, but that don't make it your job. I can choose to pay anybody's college tuition that I want to. That doesn't make it my job.
So
It's just charity.
I want to say something really quickly because we got to put this in proper context. First of all, the transgression is between the father, the mother, and the two daughters. The
That's what I've been saying from the beginning. Yeah,
siblings don't really have beef like that. So the daughters asking the brothers for money, they're not out of pocket, right? Now, the brother says, okay, well, they didn't leave anything to you. And he specifically said, don't give it to you. That's his last will and testament, right? It's not me cutting you off. It's just me respecting his wishes.
No. He never said the father told him that. He didn't say the father told him that. He just said that's what the father did. I don't
Okay,
remember
well,
him
I mean,
saying
but he
anything
did say
about
this,
the father instructing him about anything.
but his father did instruct
but
him
he
not to
also
give
did say,
the money. The father did say, do not give the girls the money.
Yeah.
Did
no, he didn't say
anybody
that.
remember
He didn't say
hearing
that.
that? When
Yeah,
did
yeah.
anybody?
The dad
No,
said that. The dad said that.
His dad did say
he did
that.
say it.
Okay,
I didn't.
all right,
I didn't hear
cool,
him say that.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
didn't
with
remember
you.
hearing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So at the end of so my point is at the end of the day, the girls asking their brother for money, that's not a big deal, right? They're not out of pocket because the relationships between them, nobody transgressed against one another. But now the son gives the money, now he's out of pocket because he's going against the last will and testament. And that's what I've been saying the whole time, the whole way through, right? His
Not
last will and
exactly.
testament was don't give these hoes nothing.
Let me jump in after this, right? So very quickly, what I'm saying is that I understand all this talk about forgiveness and reconciliation, but the father was alive. And I even heard him say that the father attempted to form a relation with the grandchild, which is his sister's daughter, or whatever, it's his sister's child. So what I'm saying to you is that there's ample opportunity for the same daughters to seek forgiveness from their own father, which would have gotten them on the will. All more reason not to give them the money. You know what I'm saying? As a son, I would not give you the money. If dad was alive and you could have gone to dad and said, sorry for what I did. It was wrong for me to basically side with mom. It was wrong for me to basically go from that. You know, and then dad would have resolved the problem in his own will. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Well,
When
placeholder.
I watched the
I'm
video,
glad you said that. Hold on. I wanted to go out the placeholder. Look, this is how females chaotic shit convolutes how men actually establish order. Because everybody is going to make everybody, not everybody, most people are going to make their decision based on how they feel. When you have positions of authority, you cannot make decisions like that. You just cannot do it. Okay? Number one, when his father entrusted him with his estate, okay, That is a spiritual bond that he's establishing. Okay? Just like between God and man. It's a spiritual bond. Okay? When he gave him his estate, okay, that's his birthright. Okay? That's his birthright. Because he fulfilled his duty as a son. Let's not forget, the Bible says, honor thy father and mother. It says father first, though. Okay? You're supposed to honor your father. Ain't just your mama. And there's no way in hell you're going to sit here and say, anybody can say, they honor their father by participating with their mom's cheating on their father. That is no honor in that. From that alone, you're dishonored. You don't get nothing. Okay? But more importantly, once the money comes into his hand, that money becomes a part of his estate. So the sisters don't come before his own seed. He got to do what's in the best interest of his seed first. They're not his seed.
So here's the thing, real quick. Like, they don't have a relationship for real. Like, if you watch that video, those sisters don't even call him unless it's something about money, about them wanting money or something. Like, they don't have an actual working relationship. So it's no need to even get into like, oh, you should give charity to your neighbor. Like, they're not even his neighbor. They're not in his life for real, for real. They're just strangers that request money.
This is what I want to say. So no placeholder. Begrudgingly, I have to agree with him. He's right. They could have squashed his shit with the dad when the dad was alive. But he does whatever. If he does have hatred in his heart towards them, he does have to forgive them. That does not mean money. That does not mean I'm saying give them money, right? Because when he signed the will and testament, he took an oath, right? And so in the Bible, it talks about if you take an oath, you are obligated to the oath. So since assuming in the will when he signed it, when he took over the assets, if the will says give it to these hoes, then by oath he cannot.
Nope.
Because he pledged an oath. And in the Bible it's really clear about oaths. Even when you make an oath and you pray to God, that oath still stands. So he can't give money.
Man, let me tell y'all something. I've been waiting to say this story because I've been wanting everybody to get this stuff out. Okay. I was supposed to do some business with some Mormons some years ago. Okay. The business was facilitated through the father. Somebody needs to mute up because I want people to really hear this. So now I don't. It's kind of long, but I don't want to make it too long. I just want to get to the most important point. Okay. The mother was cheating. GBR, you need to unmute. You mute.
I'm muting everybody. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
All right. The mother was cheating on the father for 40 years. Okay. When she first got married to another dude against her family's wishes, and her family told her that if she stayed married to this guy, she was not going to get her inheritance from them. Okay. Now, if she would have really loved the dude, if the dude really loved her, they would have said, well, keep the inheritance because we love each other. And they would have moved on. That's not what happened. She divorced him, and then she married some dude that she looked at as a sucker in the church to get her family's blessing so she could get access to the inheritance. Do you know that this female had this dude working up under her husband and even had this dude, her ex-husband, because the second husband didn't know. She had him on wheels. So in case something happened to him, the second husband, the first husband would get things through his hand. Okay? I was the one that actually figured it out. Okay? Because things wasn't lining up with what was told to me. And I actually figured out that the daughter was participating with the mother too. The daughter knew that wasn't her dad. And she went behind his back and got pregnant by some loser ass dude and basically lived out her mom's experience. Okay. So now let me tell you something. Come to find out, all three of the children that dude thought was his with her was not even his children. Okay. None of them were. He had three children. Okay. When the son found out that wasn't his dad, and the son was married and had his own family, the son unalived himself. Okay. The son unalived himself. And when he did that, this broad had the audacity to say when he did it, he should have been stronger. This is her own son now. This is the woman she carried in her womb. He should have been stronger. Okay. And even tried to get my lady to go against me when I said, no, we will not be helping her on anything. Because I knew what was going to happen. Because I looked up the laws of the state and I said, they're going to freeze all their assets. And that's exactly what they did when the dude filed for divorce. Their church excommunicated her and her daughter. Okay? So they didn't play that. It wasn't no, oh, you're going to get another chance and forget. It wasn't none of that. They cast them out. Okay? It was none of that. It was so egregious. Okay? And so it ain't just the fact that what she did to the father. Okay? Because what she has really created in this situation, she has created animosity between the siblings. And a lot of times, if you look at a lot of situations in families, especially in Black America too, a lot of animosity between brothers and sisters are actually fostered by moms because she plays siblings off of each other to her own machinations, her own desire to will power and control. That's what is happening here. Okay? She set the daughters up for failure. That's a fact. She set them up for failure. And she didn't even think about it. She hasn't even done anything for the son. We're talking about what the son should be doing for his sisters. What is she doing for the daughters? And what has she done for the son? Did she give him anything? Is fathers the only one supposed to leave an inheritance? No. No. Because by definition, if your father leaves you an inheritance as a daughter, guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to leave an inheritance too. Okay? So that's not what happened here. But the situation that I talked about, man, that situation cost me millions, man. All because of a chick. And the funny thing about it, the chick really revealed what happened because she saw that her second husband wanted to do business with me in a certain fashion that he wasn't going to do with her ex-husband, even though he didn't know that was her ex-husband at the time. She got jealous of it and she spilled the beans and basically came out with it. And that's when the stuff hit the fan. That's the only reason why it really hit the fan, because she saw what he was willing to do in terms of business with me. So, nah, man, This is all on the mother. I don't care. I do not like when situations like this happen and dudes say, well, nobody's perfect as it relates to the man, because that's exactly what the female did on the panel. The first thing she tried to do is judge him, not even knowing him. Notice she never said one thing about the mom cheating. She never said one thing at all. She didn't say one thing, but she assumed, oh, it had to be her. He had, because this is what a lot of Black females do. Well, she cheated because he must have been doing something to her. No, the broad was a whore. That's what it is. That's what it is. And that's just the facts of it. So, nah, man, he is not obligated to do anything. If he wants to forgive, that's his own business. If he got hurt inside that he needs to let go, yeah, I would suggest him to free himself, to just forgive, not give, but forgive on that level and move on with his life. Because really what he needs to be focusing on is his own family And quite frankly, this might make him even skittish about even starting his own family because of what he's seen his father go through. So this has a lot of ramifications for him as a man. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna side with the man because I already know what them hoes is on.
And I want to say real quick, well, you know what? Before I even say anything, turn around. Did you get your opening statement in?
No, sir. No, sir.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. It's 2 hours, 59 minutes, and you just waltzing into the building. Okay? Just do what you want to do around here, huh? But it's cool. It's cool, Tanner. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean it's all. These are there are actually positions. You can make somebody the director of your will. They direct and determine where they want to put the money. So you can tell your son, you are the director of my will, and I want you to give money to whoever you want to give it to. I'm giving you control. The lawyer's there to execute. And you can make one person director, and you can have 20 children. And you could just make one person director, and it's his job to either give money to people he wants to or not to. If you can get it to make that person director of your will, and they will direct where they want the money to go to, or they might keep all the money. And so you have a position, and he gave his son the position, and he gave him instructions, and he's supposed to follow those directions. And actually, the person is gone, so he, as him being director, he can do what he wants to do. If he wants to give them money, he can. Does it? If the orders are not to give money to the sisters, then don't do it. Follow directions. But at the end of the day, he is director. He is in control, and he can do what he wants to do.
And I'm gonna say, yeah. When it come down to it, the man did exactly what he wanted. He wanted his legacy to be continued by his children. He had an unfortunate situation where, even though he was doing the work that he needed to do to create this legacy, that he had two children that betrayed him. So he set things up so his son, who didn't betray him, would continue on his legacy. The money went exactly where it's supposed to go. My thing is, why are we second guessing the man? He's dead. He's gone. He's clearly given his will. The money's exactly where it's supposed to be. Now, we can use anything we want to justify giving money to these daughters that he has literally no obligation to do. This is not a situation about if he forgive his sisters, they should get the money. He has no obligation to pay off their college debt. They are not his daughters.
But Roger, he has obligation. He has obligation to his father. When you sign the will and you transfer over to it, you sign and said you're going to honor it. He has the obligation to his father, so he cannot give them the money.
Well,
he's bound by it.
I'm not disagreeing with that, because I said he has no obligation to give to the sisters. So my thing is, the only thing people can do is make up stuff in order to justify giving money to the sisters, because there is no way there's an obligation. God didn't tell them to do it. Based on the Bible, I know I'm not clear enough where God say he's supposed to pay off their college debt. They're not his daughters. I understand paying off your daughter's college debt, not saying you have to, because college is something you do as an adult. You know what I'm saying? You get a kid type of buffering going on when you're a quote unquote college kid, but college kids are adults. I understand you want your daughter, your son to be in a better place than you were. So of course, if you choose as a parent to pay off their college debts, no, more power to you. Good job. Good job. These are not his daughters. So, and there's no way that he's obligated to pay for these people. None. There is no obligation. So the whole thing is, when he called into the show, they should have listened to him and just simply told him the truth. Look, young man, you don't need to be in a position where you cannot forgive people for trespasses against you. It's bad for you if you don't forgive. But you forgiving them ain't got nothing to do with them getting money out of you. You have no obligation to pay off their college debt. That is something they're supposed to be doing in life with themselves. And if they live in America, they can get a husband. He can help them with their college debts. But you're their brother. That's not even supposed to be a thought of you. One thing I have not done outside of today's show is ever think about my sister's college loan. I have multiple sisters, and I would assume they have some college loan. I'm going to assume that. because we didn't have money growing up like that. So I'm gonna assume they got some college loans. And I ain't never thought about it. And even though we doing this show today, what I'm not gonna do is think about, I'm not gonna call them after we get off air and say, hey, do you got some college loans you want me to help pay off? I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna even think to do it. It is not my concern. At the end of the day, some black woman made him try to think it's his concern. If the white guy is on some true Christian stuff, he should be telling him, hey, you are a Christian. You're supposed to make sure you're good. You're supposed to make sure your wife is good, not your sisters. You're supposed to make sure your children are good, not your sisters. You're supposed to make sure your grandchildren will have something to inherit, not your sisters. Now, if you do all that and you just want to give money away to charity, that's a whole different thing. But you have no responsibility to give them anything. And I'm gonna say I believe this reason the show carried out so much the way it is, because like I said yesterday, we as black men, we always want to see women straight. We want to know that they okay. We want to know that they cool. The man got an inheritance. They didn't. Father made his decision. I'm not gonna question why he made his decision. It is what it is. Now that I even have the story, I can even understand the decision. But at the end of the day, it was his money and he did what he wanted to do with it. I'm good with that.
You know what's so funny, Roger? A lot of times, man, people will just say defend a female just because she's a female, and then turn around and won't even defend the man when the man is right. You know, it's just, this is supposed to be a Christian-based financial show, okay? It's supposed to be a Christian-based financial show, okay? So none of that came up in this back and forth. When they fired the black dude years ago over infidelity at the show, because they fired this white chick who had a baby out of wedlock, and said that they were letting her go because her behavior was not in line with biblical principles and stuff like that. Where was all of that in this part right here?
Are you talking about the bald head dude? The bald head
There
black guy?
literally should not even be any question what the situation should be.
Yeah, the white dude was trying to get there. He was like, I'll give the white dude.
He was almost there. He was almost there. He was almost there.
Yeah. He was trying to get there.
He was almost there.
But then
are you talking about the bald head dude that used to be on Dave Ramsey show?
Yeah, the bald head black dude. Yeah.
I never knew he got fired
I think
for
his
that.
last name was Hogan.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I never knew he got fired for that.
Yeah, he got fired for that. But my point is like, y'all, hold on. You fired the black dude. You fired the black dude. You fired the black dude because of this type of behavior. But then you got somebody on your show that's saying that they facilitated, like, if this situation was reversed, and these were two black sons and a black daughter, and the black daughter was on the mom's side, the dad went out there, was smashing bras, all this type of stuff, left them, this and that and the floor. And the sons was on the dad's side. You think that black mom is giving those sons any money?
Hell no.
I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in because I gotta wrap this up, y'all. Because I gotta get moving. But I'm gonna say this now. As far as what they show is, y'all are saying this is supposed to be something to do with Christian and finance. I don't know squat about their show, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know nothing about what they show's supposed to be. But I've been to church at least once or twice. I don't know anything that somebody can point to me in that Bible to say some man is supposed to be worried about his sister's college tuition. So from a Christian aspect, it's not his responsibility. That's
not true, but
okay. I mean, we could deal with that if we wanted. We finna go back there. You tell me that if you want to, but I don't know where the Bible says I got to be worried about my sister's college debts. I'm totally unaware of that. I'm gonna say that I am 100% unaware that I'm responsible for my sister's college debts. Okay, and when it come down to it, the man had a wife. They had a problem in their marriage. It's not my marriage. It's their marriage. So I don't have to do things to make other people feel good about the bad thing that happened in the marriage. I wasn't married to anybody in this scenario. So at the end of the day, all that feeling stuff, we can throw all that out to the side because it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm simply a guy that had a daddy that was able to give him 8 figures in assets and whatnot. So I'm good. I'm rich now. I'm gonna go live like the rich man that my father sacrificed for me to be able to be. Because I understand my father made some sacrifices so he can give me 8 figures worth of stuff. So I'm gonna act like my father worked to give me 8 figures worth of stuff. And guess what? I will give some charity because I do believe in charity. I definitely believe in charity. But those are my sisters. Okay. I'm not paying off their college debts. That's for their husbands to do. Now, I will give you something nice for whatever reason. I will pay for you when we go out and all that good stuff. I'm going to still be a good brother to you, but it's just not my job to pay off their college debts. That's between them and their husband, and that's where I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to close this out, y'all. It's been a great and interesting show. If y'all like coming to the best show that you can find on social media, I'm going to suggest you come right here to the Roger Report Live. And I'm going to do a quick check to see if there's any cash apps that didn't come up that I can see right now, y'all. But I appreciate all y'all for coming. I appreciate the input. Looks like we done got everything out. Y'all have a great wait, today Friday, right?
Yeah.
Isn't today Friday?
Yep,
all right, y'all have
Friday.
a great, wonderful weekend. Inspired Truth, you doing something tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. Same time, 9 o'clock, New Orleans time, not Chicago time, New Orleans time.
There you go, my brother. Well, you need to say that, brother. You need to start saying that now. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? If you're here, make sure you advertise. Make sure you advertise. All right, y'all have a great weekend. We'll see y'all next time around. Long live the habitual line stuff. And y'all know what? I'm going to just say this just because I want to, man. I saw that Supergirl movie too. That movie was good. Okay? That movie was good. I seen it 3 times. That movie was good. I don't know what people talking about out here. I'm just throwing that because I hear a lot of stuff about that. That was actually a good movie. Okay? See, you bring these Ivy Leaguers on and they don't know nothing. All that Ivy League stuff and they still don't know nothing. I don't know how that worked. Y'all have a good weekend. Long live habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.